Just pressing the wrong buttons everywhere here. Did you hear? Did you hear the music? You probably didn't because you already
No,
can't hear music. Yeah, we're live now,
I
John.
turned
We're
it
live
off.
now. No, but I pressed outro tune to go on instead of intro video to play. You know, the video plays, then it goes through a different scene. That was
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
happen, but yeah, the outro music just came on. Just the intro to the tune came on. Oh, no, think I've pressed the wrong button there. You know, it happens. It happens.
It's
We
gonna be
try
okay.
and remain professional as we move through the show today. You know, goddamn, I'm a little drowsy, a little bit high. Hit that mighty hard. Yes,
Woo-woo.
but we're here. We're here, trying to just get through that first 30 seconds of the video. You know, no
Yeah.
swearing,
Yep.
no mention
No
of any
cussing.
dodgy words and all that. You know what it's like.
No. It's fine.
You
Everybody,
know
it's
what
fine.
YouTube's like. Oh gosh, here we are.
Communists. I mean, I
God
shouldn't have
damn
said that.
Now they
Damn
probably like being
it.
called that, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible.
Well, whenever it suits them, anyway.
Yep.
No offense, YouTube. But anyway, let's do that intro then. Yes, everybody, and welcome to High on Homegrown, the cannabis podcast from Percy'sGrowroom.com. I am Macky from the UK, and joining us this week, we have John.
Yes, I am here coming from Minnesota. It's hot, people. 91 freedom units, 33-ish, whatever, Celsius.
Damn.
And it's
Damn.
windy. Bro, it's like a hurricane out there today.
Wow.
Dust blowing everywhere. Turpo probably knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's crazy, though. It's like how it's so windy and still so warm as well.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the wind, man, it would be real hot.
Damn.
Like really hot, man. But it's good though. Mowed the lawn. It's beautiful out.
Yeah, man. You're gonna enjoy it, you know. You can't do anything about it, so just try and fucking enjoy it.
It's gonna be by next weekend, it's gonna be 40 degrees less.
Damn. And like I was saying before the show started, it only seems like a few weeks ago you were telling us there's a shitload of snow everywhere.
Yeah.
That's some contrast, that is.
Mm-hmm. Minnesota,
Madness.
baby. Minnesota.
Yeah. Is that the state where the saying comes from, if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes? Is that place?
Yes. Yes,
Right.
100%.
Makes sense now.
I mean, it's
Completely
kind of
get it.
anywhere in this area. Canada, North Dakota, Wisconsin. But seriously, it could change at any moment. Nobody knows.
And everybody isn't just sitting quietly in the background there. It is just me and John today, or John and I, if you want to use proper English, like we like to nowadays on this show, it seems. You know,
I mean, we should.
Yeah, Margaret, of course, it's Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers
Yes.
out there in the USA, Canada, and Australia, because it's Mother's Day for those guys this week. So, yeah, Happy Mother's Day. I hope you're all enjoying it. But as a result, Margaret's going out with her daughter to celebrate Mother's Day, so she isn't here today. But I hope she's having a lovely time. And then we also have Billy. Billy is out in Tenerife, living it up, living the dream, having a good time. So he's on vacation / holiday for this show, and he'll be away on the next show as well. But then he should be back.
This guy.
Yes. I know, right? Living the dream while the summer's on. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's so easy to do the show when you don't want to go out anywhere because it's shit weather. But then, you know, the good weather comes and it's like, oh, I've got to do a show today, which I always enjoy. You know, it's never a problem for me. I can always go and enjoy good weather at any time. But yeah, this is like my Sunday evenings now. It's like when I was a kid, you know, long time ago, Sonny. When I was a kid, Saturday night would come along, and you remember what it was like when you didn't have the internet. Well, I don't know if you all do, but you know, I don't know there's members out there who know there was no internet. We couldn't just watch things whenever. So at 6 o'clock every Sunday, you know, school next day, so you have to go to bed early. When I was a kid, we would put Sky One. Remember the channel Sky One? Don't know if it's still out there.
You guys.
Yeah. Sky One is something I don't even know if we still have it now. I haven't watched that type of TV for a long time. But The Simpsons would come on. 2 episodes of The Simpsons every Sunday at 6 o'clock.
Nice.
And and that was like my evening, every Sunday evening for a long time when I was a kid. And now my Sunday evening consists of making a cannabis podcast. How crazy is that?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Progress.
But that's when TV was good. Like everybody
for
waited.
sure.
Like it was a family thing almost back in the day. Oh shit, this show's coming on. Everybody gather around in the living room.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah. Everybody tell us in the chat and in the comments there after the show's finished. What did you do on a Sunday night when you was a kid? Did you have a TV show? Was you like me? Did you watch The Simpsons just randomly on Sundays? back in the day.
I remember so many old shows, man. They were
Oh man,
so good.
yeah.
Airwolf.
Sometimes, oh god, Airwolf. That was the
18.
basketball one, right?
No. That was a
Oh,
helicopter.
okay. I thought you
Yeah,
meant a
yeah.
wolf playing fucking basketball. That's
No,
Teen
it was a
Wolf I'm thinking
helicopter that
of. There we
looked
go.
like Shamu.
Man, I like shows. Remember, like Quantum Leap? Remember Quantum Leap?
Yep.
Good
Yep.
TV, man. Good TV.
Yep.
Used to love that
I
shit.
did like that show. That was a good one. Everybody loved that show, actually, I feel.
Alf. Backblast saying, remember Alf, the cat eating alien? Yeah. I never watched much of that one, really. That wasn't
Really?
my kind of thing.
That
Yeah,
was
but
a
I
good
know
one,
of it.
man. That
It's
was
crazy.
a good one.
We had all them puppet shows coming out. Gladiators, you know what I'm saying? Fire Top.
Gladiators.
Yeah. Good TV. Can't forget Steve Urkel on Family Matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. What else do we used to watch? There's that one,
Cheers.
Touched by an Angel. You ever watch Touched by an Angel? It was some religious TV show back in the day.
That was with Michael. What's his name? Michael.
Oh, fuck knows.
Somebody's got it. I know they got it.
Yeah.
Landon. Michael Landon. Right?
Which show is that?
That one you're talking about. Touched
by an
Angel or whatever.
No, I think you might think of another one.
Yeah, Michael Landon. See.
Oh right, no, but
he had like long hair.
No, woman was the main character.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, what am I thinking of then?
I think you're thinking another one. I know what you mean though. I remember the Highway to Heaven. There we go. Thank you, Ben.
Oh yeah.
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 That's good TV as well.
Yeah.
You know, and then I grow up and I'm not religious at all. You know. I used to love them religious shows when I was a kid. Damn.
The Warrior Princess. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. God damn.
Hercules with Sorbo. Kevin Sorbo.
Remember Johnny Bravo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would not go out today, would it? God damn.
No.
Yeah. People are going to handle Johnny Bravo now.
He was also on Little House on the Prairie.
That's right. Yeah. That's
right.
Yeah. God, that was a shit TV show. that would come on like on the Sunday in the daytime. I remember my mother would be cooking the Sunday dinner, the Sunday roast we have here in the UK, and man, like them, like Little House on the Prairie. What was that other one which was similar? The Waltons would have been on around them times as well.
Yeah.
God damn. Oh.
Yeah. And it's funny to me that you guys got all, these American shows back then, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We had PBS that showed anything that was like English. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What did you get? What English shows did you get?
Doctor Who, bro.
Ugh.
And then like, listen, shut up. I love it.
I've never been.
Maybe not
Doctor
this
Who.
new last couple seasons, but
no.
Yeah. What was that other one where they're like working in the hell was it? Like working in like a clothing store. It's like a couple guys. Oh yeah, Mr. Bean. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
bro.
Mr. Bean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some epic
So we
shit.
didn't get much of the shows from you guys, man.
Damn, you got Bottom, right? Rick Mail. You know that one? Classic shit that was back in the day.
I mean, and it probably didn't help that like where I live, you either had to have satellite pretty much to get anything other, or we didn't have cable in my town until early 90s, probably 90.
Yeah.
And we had like 30 channels and most of them were shit.
Yeah.
And cost $1 million.
Good times though. Good times, man.
Yeah.
This tangent is record breaking. You know what I'm saying there? Yeah. Mindfulness running. Yep. But TV, man. TV. We can talk about TV
man.
for a second.
TV's great.
You know what I'm saying?
I love a TV.
But yeah, just quickly. Well, we won't even run through the news stories. We don't want to jump in there straight away because we have some really bad news, and I don't want to read out the news stories just yet. But for the Grow Guides, we're going to be talking, finishing part 3 of the series here, where we're going to talk about making that raised bed now with the horizontal soil in it and shit. So that's going to be the 3rd part of the series. So check that out when we get there.
Nice.
That's going to be cool. Yeah, get this a little bit finished off here so everybody knows what the fuck to do to get this shit set up if they wanted to. It's going to be very nice.
And I'm just going to keep learning because it's just making me want to do it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it. I wish I could, man. One day, they're still waiting for legalization here in Airstrip 1. You know how we roll. Fucking piss take, man. God damn,
It's
yo.
gonna be soon.
Yeah,
Soon,
well,
buddy. I
yeah,
feel
we'll
it.
see about that. Fucking 5 years minimum. 5 years minimum.
Ah, such
Terrible.
bullshit, bro.
It really is. It
Bullshit.
really is. But what can you
No
do?
good.
Anyway,
Oh, well,
are we ready to move on to the news then? Because I think we
let's get
are.
after it.
Yeah, might as well just jump straight in. I say jump straight in. We've been here for
Mhm.
near 10 minutes just chatting random shit. So
We're making
I
sure
think
YouTube doesn't get mad at us.
that's right. That's right. Time to move to the States, Macky. Fucking for real, man. If I had that 3 mil I keep talking about, then yeah, I'll be over there already.
Next year it's
You know
gonna
what
be
I'm saying?
4.
Yeah, inflation, bro. Inflation. You know. But yeah, if anybody got a spare 3 mil, if Elon listens,
I'm telling you, bro. Just
you know,
put up a
you know,
GoFundMe. I
god
mean,
damn, and put the limit on 3 mil.
yeah.
That would be funny.
Just see what happens, bro.
Fucking hell. Nothing to lose. Might as well give it a shot.
Dude, there's been
But,
worse things as a GoFundMe than that. You know?
yeah, I
Come
know.
on, bro.
We can dream, can't we, everybody? But for now, let's do the news. You ready for the news, Sean?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Tangenting everywhere. Let's go. So, we might as well get the first story we're going to cover is a bit shit, right? Here in the UK, as you know, cannabis is still illegal, but it is legal for medical use, and that's mainly because of a lady. She's been on the show a couple of times before, and she has made big waves in the medical cannabis industry here in the UK. And she essentially started it all. It's legal for medicine in the UK because of this lady, and that is Hannah Deacon. I don't know if anybody can remember her. She's been on the show a couple of times, but if you are in the UK and you know about medical cannabis, you know about this lady because she's been all over the place. Well, unfortunately, she died on, I think it was Wednesday, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, like just fucking random. Hold on, you just see the show notes
That's
there.
sad, man.
Well, say random. It must have been. Well, it says in this news article, so cause we got an actual news article to go through it. But yeah, it was. It's just crazy news to find out because she was young, man, just out of the blue like this, kind of out of the blue. I knew she was unwell, but still, very very fast. Just.
Yeah, man.
And I just feel for her kids and her family, because she's young. But I'll read this out. Let's go through this. Cannabis campaigner was an inspiration and a hero. Which, yeah, man, you realize how important these people are when they're gone, Colleagues of a campaigner who fought for her son's epilepsy to be treated with cannabis have described her as an articulate, inspirational, and impassioned advocate following her death. Hannah Deacon was diagnosed with cancer and announced it 6 weeks ago. She would be stepping back from some responsibilities. She died on Tuesday, aged just 45, man. Just 45.
So
unbelievable. And just because like a month ago, 6 weeks ago, it wasn't very long. We was all like, "Oh no, Hannah Deacon's got cancer, man. I hope she'll be okay." And then just the other day, I got a message saying Hannah Deacon died. I was like, "Fuck off." Go check Instagram, and yeah, like god damn, man.
That's so
just
crazy.
like that. Thoughts to her family. Tragic, man. It's a big loss to the cannabis community, but for a family, man, a husband and a kids, a friends, that's a tragic loss. That's so fast and so young. Very tragic, man. Well, I'll read on a little bit more. Professor Mike Barnes, who's been on the show as well, I think he was on the show together at one point, maybe. I can't remember. Who helped Miss Deacon secure the first medical cannabis prescription in the UK in 2018 for her son Alfie. She said had been passionate and dedicated to the cause. Said she had been passionate and dedicated to the cause. Hannah was one of the most capable people I've ever had the privilege to work with, he said. She was full of common sense, full of dedication to her family, but also dedication to others whose children, particularly whose were suffering from treatment-resistant epilepsy, who would also benefit from cannabis. Professor Barnes said about 75,000 people in the UK have been helped by medical cannabis as a result of her work and believed no one else had achieved so much in such little time. And which is very true. She achieved a lot in just a few
Hmm.
years, really. You know,
I mean,
and
she was out there hammering it, to be honest with you, man.
she was everywhere. And I didn't realize until seeing all these people put her up. Like she was in contact with everybody. You know, she was supporting all these medical cannabis moms around the UK. So it wasn't like she
Right?
was just focusing on her kid. She was out there supporting
Hmm.
all these other families and shit, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
She's passionate, man, about it.
Mm.
Mm.
She was responsible for not only changing the laws but also helping establish the infrastructure to ensure it was distributed to pharmacies, he explained, adding that she would want anyone who might benefit from medical cannabis to be able to access it through the NHS. It was a remarkable campaign back in 2018 that enables doctors to prescribe medical cannabis as a benefit to so many people. Professor Barnes said Alfie hadn't experienced a single seizure in more than 5 years as a result of medical cannabis, which previously he suffered 300 to 400 a month. He added, "We shouldn't forget the law changed as a result of the children." Yeah. She was a force of nature. Miss Deacon founded a range of organizations, including the Medical Cannabis Clinicians Society, to engage doctors and healthcare professionals, MedCan Family Foundation to support other parents and carers, and Maple Tree Consultants, where she worked with industry to press change and improved outcomes. She was also an active member of the Cannabis Industry Council, a joint statement issued by the organization's co-chairs, Dr. Kelly Seaman and Jamie Bartley, alongside CEO Mike Morgan Giles, described Miss Deacon as an inspiration and hero. Hannah was an absolute force of nature, concerned with protecting the life chances of not just her own children, but many others in similar situations, they said. It was clear to those of us who knew Hannah that she would stop at nothing to achieve this. Man, it's just so tragic. They added
Hmm.
there was no exaggeration to say that without her work, medical cannabis would likely not be legal in the UK today. Very true, man. I mean,
Yeah.
we could still be in like nowhere. We would have zero legalization at all. At least we
Hmm.
have medical right now. So some people have got access to it. It's difficult to get, but still, it's easier to
It's
access
there.
because of the work she did.
Yeah.
She was articulate, inspirational, and impassioned advocate for change, regularly appearing on the media and meeting politicians to hold their feet to the fire. Their statement continued. Hannah always had funny, mischievous, and positive outlook on life, and this rubbed off on many of us. She was someone who wanted to be around, who lit up the room and made the world a better place. So just tragic, man. It's
Hmm.
such a terrible loss. All around to the cannabis community, the medical cannabis community, her family, her friends, her children, so quickly.
Yeah,
Just
man.
tragic, man.
It's crazy. It is just nuts, man.
Mm-mm.
That can happen, and she did so much. Like it's I don't know.
It's just like what happens now,
Hmm.
you know?
Hopefully somebody will pick up, her work. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And continue it. Keep
yeah,
fighting the good fight. You know what I mean?
yeah. Keep fighting. There's a major player in the whole medical cannabis movement. It's a sad
Hmm.
loss, man. I hope
Hmm.
I hope people can pick up the torch and push forward with it, and not let the fucking government keep fucking people around.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, just the shocking thing the most is just the speed of it. From it wasn't very long ago she was just announcing how she's stepping down from work for a bit because she has cancer, and it's just like, oh, all the best. I hope treatment goes well. Everybody commenting on the Instagram and shit like that. To
Right.
just a few weeks later, man, where she's gone like this. It is very tragic, everybody. It's very tragic.
Yeah.
Just makes you appreciate life a little bit more. Appreciate those around you because you never know when some shit like this is
100%.
just gonna come out of nowhere.
And it usually does out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know. God,
So if you are
crazy.
one of those people who do use medical cannabis in the UK, smoke one for Hannah Deacon today.
Yeah.
Specifically of the medical stuff, because you wouldn't have that if it wasn't for Hannah Deacon and the work she's done with her friends over the last few
Hmm.
years. Damn, sad.
Crazy. Yep. Very sad.
Yeah. So I thought we'd get the downer news out the way. I thought we'd get on that and let everybody know. But, condolences
Mm.
again to her family and friends and their children. Tragic news, man. And I was thinking I might put out the Hannah Deacon episode this week just as some kind of homage, just to
Oh, there you go.
just
That'd
to
be all
send
right.
it out so
Yeah,
people can appreciate her.
because that was a Patreon thing, right? Like a.
No, they still
I
went out
did.
to everybody, so it has
Oh,
gone
did it?
out before. But
Okay.
it was a good talk, man. And I remember,
Mm.
then we've had a lot of medical cannabis moms on the show. But I remember Hannah Deacon at one point, she was mentioning as well how she fights for this because she isn't going to be around forever, and who's going to look after her kid when she's not around?
Mm-hmm.
She would have had no idea that it would have been this soon
No,
to her
no,
passing, which is
no.
absolutely fucking scary. You know,
Because how old is he now? Do we know? Like, is
I'm
he
not
like,
sure. In mid-teens now, maybe 14,
yeah?
15.
Mm.
Oh, I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. Tragic, man.
Mm-hmm.
Fucked.
Yeah.
So let's move on to another story. See if we can cheer ourselves up a little bit now. But
May,
damn,
perchance.
R.I.P. Hannah
What do we want to
Deacon,
go with?
and thanks for all the work you did for the cannabis community.
Mm-hmm.
Sad. We have this one from Nebraska. What are we saying about Nebraska, John?
Oh, let's check in on Nebraska. We're not sure about those guys. They're to the south of me a little bit here, state or so away, or south
Okay.
and west, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, a long
All
way from
right,
the
so
ocean. Yeah.
yeah, we're all a long way from the ocean out here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is coming to us from Marijuana Moment. Nebraska Attorney General pressures lawmakers not to pass medical marijuana bill. So I'm sorry,
Boo.
this does not sound like an upper one. Damn it, right? Okay, this is not about the will of the people. This is going to make Nebraska less safe, more dangerous, he says.
Wow.
Nebraska Attorney General Mike Hilgers, representative, escalated his opposition to legislative efforts to help implement medical cannabis Wednesday, parading out more than a dozen law enforcement officers who support his stance. So he just brought a bunch of officers into the house, or what? What happened there?
I hope they
Um,
weren't on duty, wasting taxpayer money there for your political agenda.
right, like what the heck?
Just saying. Just saying.
Yep, yep, yep. At a news conference, it was a news conference. Hilgers blasted legislative bill 677 from state Senate Senator, Senate Ben Hansen, Republican of Blair, asserting that the effort to build a regulatory framework around voter-approved medical cannabis is nothing more than a path to recreational marijuana or cannabis that he argued would supercharge the black market. As he has already said this year, he urged lawmakers to wait until at least January as he continues challenging in court the laws that voters approved last fall. This is not about the will of the people. Hilgers, joined by various sheriffs, said of LB 677. This is going to make Nebraska less safe, more dangerous. It's going to handcuff the good men and women here that are in front of you and all their colleagues around the state.
Boo.
Why is it going to handcuff them?
Because they're not going
Gonna
to be allowed to search people's cars just for the smell of cannabis now.
right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Hansen, other lawmakers, and supporters of the 2024 ballot measure have already indicated that they have no intention to wait. They argue that without LB 677, the voter approved laws could become the Wild West or prevent Nebraskans who need cannabis the most from accessing it. Now, I just got to
How?
say this it's voter approved, people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why are we fighting the people?
Yeah.
This is mental, man.
Yeah.
Again,
You've been told what to do. Do your fucking job.
right, right. Again, the voter approved laws allow up to 5 ounces of medical cannabis with a physician's recommendation. In effect since December, the laws passed in November with 71% voter approval.
Wow, so it's
That's
not even a
huge,
fucking
man.
little bit, is it?
No,
71%?
that's a lot,
This
man.
guy needs to shut his bitch ass mouth. What the fuck?
Yeah, like what is he talking? He's talking all kinds of shit. A new Nebraska Medical Cannabis Commission is set to write new regulations around the laws, part of a companion ballot measure that passed with about 68% approval, another huge number. Our fight remains. Hansen told reporters after Hilger's news conference that LB 677 being recreational couldn't be farther from the truth, and that turning a blind eye to the ballot measure would hurt voters. That would be like saying we're providing recreational opiates or recreational fentanyl,
What the
Hansen
fuck?
said.
What?
We don't do any of that.
Oh my god.
So this guy is just saying, like, we don't do that with the other stuff. Why would this be the same? You know what I mean? Crazy. Krista Eggers, executive director of Nebraskans for Medical Marijuana, said there was no greater hypocrisy than Hilger's telling the legislature to respect the will of the voters after actively working to undermine it at the ballot box, in the courts, and within the legislature itself. Eggers, who led the 2024 ballot measure, the third campaign for the group, said Hilger's actions were primary reasons why medicinal cannabis continued to be out of reach for many. Our fight remains as it always has, as a voice of the Nebraska patients, real people in our communities who are suffering. Eggers said in a statement, as long as patients like Will, Brooke, Jayan, Kyler, Colton, and countless others are suffering.
Is that the Kardashians?
No.
Oh,
no, it's
sorry,
not,
my
definitely
bad.
not in Nebraska, bro. I'll tell you that. You have our unwavering commitment. We will never stop fighting. Regulations remain in limbo. Hansen and State Senator Rick Holdcroft of Bellevue and John Kavanaugh of Omaha chair and vice chair of the legislature's General Affairs Committee. Hosted 3 town halls this weekend in La Vista, Omaha, and Lincoln, receiving feedback on LB 677 and a new amendment.
You got feedback on LB 677 when 70% of the people voted yes on it. You fucking tool.
I mean, why do they got to do this shit? It doesn't make any sense. It was brought forth. They voted. It should just be a done deal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it just should be.
Oh, I don't agree. Well, shut the fuck up. Then nobody asked you your opinion.
No.
You voted on your
opinion.
Well, yeah, and he had the choice to go and vote, and his side lost. So you don't get to change the fucking rules because you don't like it. You voted just like everybody else, and the no's didn't get it. The nays did not get it. The yays got it this time. So let it roll, man.
That's right. Yay.
I don't understand why
these super happy.
Yeah,
until this guy.
Ridiculous.
Right? 71% of the people were happy until this guy had to come up with this crap.
Bullshit.
Right? All right, let's continue on. It was that new amendment, AM 1251, that got LB 677 out of committee in a 5-3 vote last week after earlier stalling in committee. The 124-page amendment makes various changes to the laws, but is intended to put in place various regulations and safeguards around the new Medical Cannabis Commission. An attorney for the commission has said in court filings that without the follow-up legislation, commissioners have no ability to carry out any duties set forth in the new laws. So, okay, I'm going to go on. LB 677, with the amendment, would move the process forward, giving the commission more time to act through October 1st rather than July 1st, but also more guardrails.
So yeah, it's going to
slow
slow
it down.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so they're
slow
just
it down so they can
down.
think about it more. Fucking hell. What's this guy's deal, man? What the fuck?
In the end, it's just going to make for more bullshit regulations and make it harder for people to get the medicine that they voted on. It's mental. I don't understand it.
Damn. Yeah, this is a long article too. Fuck this.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck this
see
shit.
If there's any more. I mean, we can go on, but
no, it's long.
I mean, it's more just about the regulations and stuff. So
they're just gonna
that's crazy.
keep telling us how they're fucking everything up in a different direction. Just saying it in different ways, man. We get the fucking idea. There's some dickhead Republican who thinks that he knows better, who's gonna stand there with all these police officers. If you see it on the screen, there it is, everybody. Look, there he is with his police officer friends. Like, oh, but cannabis is gonna get me.
Right.
Somebody please think of the children. Fuck
yeah, we are like the kids that need it. You know what I mean? Like Hannah's son. What's up? Figure it out.
Yeah. Bullshit. Elected officials going against
Yeah, man.
votes. Just makes
And they're
no sense,
elected
does it?
for us. That's what's so stupid, man. Listen
Bullshit.
to us.
Yeah,
Sorry,
modern
rant over.
democracy,
My bad.
Macky says, Viking in the chat there. Yeah, calm down, John. What the fuck, man? You call that a rant? You call that a rant, bro? Gosh.
It was a little bit.
Gosh.
It was a little bit. Sorry. Sorry I blew up everyone.
Yeah.
My bad. Oh,
Bullshit,
Billy's in the
Bullshit.
chat.
Yeah, Billy's in the chat. Enjoying a joint on the balcony at 25 degrees C.
Very nice.
Said he's just been to the glory hole. Oh. You know, nice, Billy. Hope you're having a good time there, bro.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
So we got this next article here, right? And I thought this is an interesting article. Should I bring this one? Yeah, and I had a quick read through it, and I was like, yeah, I have to bring this one because there's like a subheading in here, like not the main heading, but there's one in there. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but it was funny, so I thought, yeah, let's bring this one. We have here.
Continue.
Former Ryanair pilot, so he didn't work for a good plane company anyway. Former Ryanair pilot charged over €10 million cannabis seizure. Look at this guy. You want a fucking criminal? Look, he's even got a criminal look. Looks like a criminal version of Norm Macdonald, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
See
Looks like Norm.
Maybe it is Norm, and he faked his death all along.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Became a pilot, starts
We're on to you, Norm Macdonald. A former Ryanair pilot has appeared in court in the Republic of Ireland, charged in connection with the seizure of more than €10 million, that's 8.5 million Great British pounds sterling, worth of herbal cannabis. Herbal cannabis. You know, that terrible type. Brendan O'Meara, 62, with an address as Ann Tulak, Summerhill. Chulak, that's where Tilk was from, right?
Okay.
From SG1, if anybody knows that. Geeking out. Chulak. From Summerhill, Meelick in County Clare. That's right, tell everybody where this guy lives for some reason.
Yeah.
Appeared before the special sitting of the district court in Ennis on Saturday. He is charged with the possession of a controlled drug and possession of a controlled drug for sale or supply at the address above on the 7th of May. What, he's trying to fly his house or something? An application for bail has been refused.
So he wasn't caught like on the plane.
No, well, I don't know.
Like it wasn't caught while he was flying it, smoggling it actually.
Okay. Maybe.
Okay.
But this is the subtitle that got me here. It's high flight risk. Is the pun intended or not? You know what I mean? Because because he's a pilot, he's definitely a high flight risk because he can just fly a plane out of there. Don't need permission. He just needs to get to a plane and he can fly. So yeah, high flight risk. But also, is he smoking weed? Is he high whilst flying? So is it high flight risk of him escaping, or is there risk of him being high while flying? You know, there's many different ways this sentence can work. Jesus.
It could be taken many ways, yeah. Yeah.
The court heard Mr. O'Meara made no reply when he was arrested, charged and cautioned. That's right, because he has a right to remain silent. A solicitor for Mr. O'Meara said they would be applying for bail, but Gardaí, Irish police, said they would be objecting to it on the basis that they believe that Mr. O'Meara was a high-flight risk. A police officer told Judge Mary Keane that further, more serious charges are likely to follow. Ooh. The judge refused bail due to the state's concern that the accused is serious flight risk and more serious charges are likely to be made. I just read that sentence. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I did read the one above, and it's like they just rewrote it out and said the same thing. Jesus.
Basically.
Mr. O'Meara was remanded back into custody and appear again in court via video link on the 14th of May. And look, it's like 10 million worth of fucking weed. That's a lot of weed. That's quite a professional operation going on there.
Listen, it was probably only 2.5 pounds.
Yeah.
You know the calculations they do. Jesus.
But the thing is, there's companies out there moving weed to this level. You know, why is this guy not allowed to? Because he hasn't paid the appropriate fee to the appropriate person. It's
That's right.
€10 million cannabis. I'm sure that gets sold pretty quickly between all these companies that make it for medicine and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's places in the USA that sell legal cannabis to these levels now. So,
Right.
is it wrong or is it not? This is the thing now. You see these ridiculous kind of things going on where people are doing exactly what this guy did fully legally simply because they paid the appropriate fee to the appropriate person. I'm not talking about bribe and shit. I'm talking about license fees and all that, which is essentially a bribe. But it's ridiculous. It's like either it's wrong or it's not. We shouldn't have this difference in the law where one place says it's okay and the another place says it's not. It makes no fucking
Right.
sense, man. It's ridiculous.
Batty.
Mm-mm.
Batty. So my question is, was this guy working alone? Like,
Yeah, good point.
you know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel like if he's moving that much, air quotes, like, wouldn't they want to kept this a little bit quiet to find the guy who he's smuggling it for?
Maybe he is the one who knocks, John.
He might be, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, and it just seems as if as well when they say he's a former Ryanair pilot. I don't think he was like on a plane or anything, ready to ship a shitload of ganja. This looks like he was just all up in his house, and he had all this weed.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
So he wasn't even flying it or anything. 'Cause, So why bring up the fact that he was a pilot? Just because
I
they
was
wanted
just
to
saying
use
the
that
same
fucking
thing.
high flight risk pun?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I think that's
That's
what they
why,
were
innit?
going for.
Fuck
They're like,
yeah.
how can we make this story better? Let's see. He used to be
Jesus.
a pilot. Oh, I got one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
High
awesome.
flight risk. Oh, that's brilliant, Jerry. That's brilliant. You know?
Oh, God.
Damn. Unlucky though.
So good.
Damn, that's a whole
Yeah.
lot of weed to lose out on.
Crazy.
And if you would have just paid the appropriate fee to the appropriate person, you would have been fine. But
Yeah,
no.
you would. Yeah.
That's the world we're living in.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. What we have here then, John? Cannabis in communities. What's this?
Yeah. So this is coming from Oncology News Central. Cannabis and community cancer care. Where do things stand? This is from earlier this week. Excuse me. Patients with cancer are increasingly using cannabis to help manage symptoms of their disease and adverse effects from treatment. That uptake is happening so rapidly that many oncologists are struggling to keep up with the latest information on how best to guide them. Experts in integrative oncology discussed the latest guidance at the Community Oncology Alliance's COA's 2025 Community Oncology Conference. Too many of that word.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Abrams, MD, the past chief of the Hematology Oncology Division at Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital.
We're naming
So he
hospitals
has
after
his
that
own
guy
hospital.
now. Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
And an integrative oncologist at the UCSF Osher Center for Integrative Health. I see why you gave this one to me. This sucks. Cited a survey of oncologists conducted in 2018. It found that 80% said that they had discussions with patients regarding medical cannabis, with 78% saying that those discussions were patient initiated. Well, of course they're going to be, right? Like they're the ones feeling the pain, right? The doctor isn't giving us anything good. So we hear this, we're going to bring it up, right? 2/3 view cannabis as a helpful adjunct to standard pain therapy and thought it was equally or more effective than standard therapy for anorexia. With that, however, less than 50% recommended it, and only a third felt sufficiently informed to make recommendations, said Dr. Abrams. These findings in part prompted the American Society of Clinical Oncology, ASCO, to issue a guideline on cannabis and cannabinoids in adults with cancer based on the latest research available. First and foremost, the guidelines state that clinicians should recommend against patients using those drugs as a cancer-directed treatment unless it's taking place within a clinical trial.
Boo.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, mind your business.
Yeah. Well, and that makes it sound like almost like they're saying, don't use this to treat the cancer, but what about all the other stuff that they use it for?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The guidance also specifies areas for which there are either sufficient or insufficient data on safety and efficiency or efficacy in areas of supportive care. Specifically, it notes that the strongest level of evidence supports potentially using cannabis and cannabinoids to improve chemotherapy-induced nausea and vomiting in conjunction with standard of care antiemetic regimens, and where the data are insufficient. Even with this guidance, Dr. Abrams said that patients often make their own decisions regarding their supportive care based on how they are feeling. He added, I load people up with the standard pharmaceuticals when they're getting chemotherapy, but many of my patients on their own choose to just use the botanical cannabis. Well, of course, because all that crap sucks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Here's a good word. On on cetron?
On
On
Dancetron.
ondansetron really
Oh.
causes significant constipation, and it's my experience that people who feel that they're dying or part of them is dying like to have their bowels move. So I've
Or
had
just the
patients.
ordinary people, just dying or not. You do like to take a shit. You know.
Yeah, this is
What the fuck?
so crazy. Okay, so I've had patients totally forego antiemetic therapy and just use inhaled cannabis as their treatment of choice, Dr. Abrams said. In discussing cannabis with their patients, both Dr. Abrams and Richard T. Lee, MD, the Chung Family Doctors Chair for the Center of in Integrative Oncology at City of Hope in Duarte, California, recommends starting with low doses that typically can be 2.5 to 5 milligrams once a day for compounds with THC, and keeping doses below 20 to 30 milligrams of THC and 300 milligrams of cannabidiol. Cannabidiol. I can't say it like that. CBD each
Cannabidiol.
day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cannabidiol. See,
Look at us sounding out words. We're doing a great job. Where's Margaret?
Jesus,
This would have been Margaret's article today. This would have,
cannabidiol.
you know.
THC has the cognitive issues where people can get confusion at higher doses, and
Goes to
then
show what this
especially
doctor knows, doesn't it? I mean,
right,
because if you take it as a suppository, you don't get the same
right.
psychoactive effects of cannabis from the THC. If it's
Here,
suppository, it gets
here,
processed different.
the thing that makes me like mad about this too is that these are doctors in California where this has been going on for a long time.
Wow. It's
I
not as
just
even if
feel
it's in
that
like Nebraska or anything, you
right.
know.
I mean, I
This
just
is
feel like these
California.
guys are talking out their ass still, and it's been going on for years and years out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
God.
No
Anyway, continue
fucking.
on.
Man, I was just about to go on a mad one. Then I'm glad I managed to stop myself. Like, so you don't want to, you don't want to give THC and cannabinoids to people who have cancer. You know, you
Mhm.
want to get certain replacement therapies to whoever the fuck wants them. Just saying. But we'll move on from there. What are you saying, John? Sorry.
Oh, yes. Moving forward,
Yes.
ASCO recommended staying away from doses of CBD higher than 300 milligrams because of potential hepatic, yeah, hepatic dysfunction. I don't even know what that means.
Well, I
So
don't
if
know,
you
but it's
have
nothing to do with
patients,
taking a shit because there was already saying that you can't take a
right,
shit. Yeah, I don't
right,
know. Maybe something to do with heart. I
maybe
don't know.
hepatic, maybe. So if you have patients with liver metastasis or lymphatic dysfunction, I think you have to be cautious, said Dr. Lee. So obviously it has something to do with that.
Mm.
The ASCO guideline also called for increased research in cannabis and cannabinoid use in adult cancer patients. Dr. Lee discussed some of the work being done at City of Hope's Center for Integrative Oncology, established in 2023. That research includes studies of cannabis's effect on neuropathy and the risks and benefits of use during cancer treatment. We're really trying to provide more holistic approaches for patients and thinking about all the great things that integrated oncology now that there's growing evidence about these approaches like acupuncture, massage, meditation, and other types of therapies, said Dr. Lee.
Just got a drop there. Improper Weed Viking in the chat said, "Did you hear about the constipated mathematician? He got a pencil and worked it out. Brilliant, Viking. Brilliant.
Should save that one for the
Fucking hell.
dad joke area.
Damn. Jesus. Well, it was apt right now while we were talking about it. You know, so I thought, yeah, this is a perfect time to drop this joke here. You know, beautiful Viking. Beautiful. Very nice. Hope it wasn't the sharp end, bro. Fuck.
He erased it, you know what I mean? It just boggles my mind that they're still saying we need more research. Like they should have been doing this already. Should have been saying this 10 years ago. You know, 15 years ago.
And the studies have been done. They just choose to ignore them and be like, "Oh no, we really need to do our own studies." Any excuse, any excuse, unless it's about psychosis, then one study is enough. Right. You can go around the fucking world and be like, "See this study about psychosis, cannabis, it's gonna kill us all." Fucking ridiculous, man.
But I mean, it's just ridiculous that in this story, it talks about the work being done at this place. It started in makes it sound like it was started in 2023. That's 2 years ago. Like what? I just don't get it, man.
No. But just that fucking joke that Viking told there kind of triggered an old school memory. Did you ever see One Guy, One Jar?
No.
Oh.
No, I did not.
Oh. Though I'm not telling you to go and search for it, everybody, because if you don't like that graphic kind of content, do not search for this video. Oh, fucking hell.
Flag.
Yeah. Anybody in the chat seeing that? I'm sure there's people. Oh, god damn. One Guy, One Jar. Woo.
No. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, Firetop's seen it. You got John Lewis there, says no Macky. I don't know whether that's no Macky hasn't seen it or no Macky, don't talk about that. He's triggering my trauma.
Like that goddamn song you kept telling me not to go listen to and telling everybody not to listen to, but then you send it to me, you rat bastard.
Oh, it was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
100%
bad.
God. Like, is it on Netflix? Asks filming. No, mate, it's not on Netflix. It's barely on the internet. You know, you gotta really go. Maybe. You really go for the depths to find that video. Yeah, because there's the 2 girls, 1 cup thing. You know that's a little bit more. It has the internet law behind it. People know more about that one. But the One Guy, One Jar
Disney
is it's the sequel. You know the sequel.
It's a sequel.
Yeah.
Oh my.
But yeah, man, it's not the same. I would rather watch the 2 girls, 1 cup, then One Guy, One Jar. That was some savage shit. Anyway, that's all the flags we need for this fucking video.
Statement, Cotton.
Oh, what did Cotton say?
No, you.
Oh, okay.
You didn't get that reference, sir?
No, fucking hell. What's Cotton?
Dodgeball, the movie.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it a long time ago, but it was a long time ago. Good movie.
Wow.
I just don't remember a specific.
Now you got to watch it. Yeah, they're sitting there announcing the game, and he's like, "Oh, that's a bold move, Cotton." You know
okay.
Because the guy's name is Cotton.
Right.
I don't know. I need a whiteboard to draw this out now, apparently.
Yeah. Send me a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Not the One Guy, One Jar. I will be checking links. All right. Shit, savage. But yeah, man. Now I've told you about it. I know it's like when people say don't look down, and people tend to look down. And I've just said don't look up the One Guy, One Jar. I mean, really don't. You're not going to gain anything by it. You know?
No, not at all.
Last one. Let's go. Yeah, so I thought because of all the terrible news we have here in this fucking episode, I thought we could go some kind of lighter finish to the show, maybe. Okay. And you know, this guy smoked cannabis and thought he could fly, allegedly. It's not really the case. That's not really happening. This goes from Grimsby Live, which is a place in the UK which is quite grim. You see, that's why they call it Grimsby. Cannabis grower leapt from window to evade police in raid. Oh no. My god! And this is the court. This isn't the building he jumped out of. He didn't break any legs, as far as I know. Police discovered a cannabis farm in a 2-story home with 160 plants worth around 130,000 Great British pounds. So quite a bit of money there. Yeah,
Okay.
that's crazy. A man leapt from the first floor window to evade police officers, but was arrested on the lawn. So he didn't get far.
No.
You know, it's like he just jumped out the window. That's it. Like, it's all right, officers. Don't kick off the door. I'll just come out the window. You know, what the fuck is he doing? Is he expected to take off? Peter Pan it, you know?
Right.
Oh no, it isn't working.
Neverland.
You know, a man leapt from the first floor. Did I read that bit? No, I didn't. A man leapt from a first floor window to evade police officers, but was arrested on the lawn. Alvis Nicolai, who's 21, so at least he's got decent knees. He can jump out windows without being like, oh, fucking Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Formerly of Grimsby Avenue, Scunthorpe, admitted producing cannabis when he appeared at Grimsby Crown Court. Prosecuting Howard Shaw told how Humberside police carried out a search warrant at the home on Grimsby Avenue, Scunthorpe on March 6th. He said there was a large-scale farm inside in a professional operation with metal locked gates to each of the 5 rooms. No way. So this guy, he was
serious.
He definitely had fucking trouble watering all those plants. Got to open up all them big metal doors to get to each one. I mean, we grow copious amounts of marijuana here, Winston. Reminds me of that scene from Lockstock. When the Albanian national... Oh, didn't see that coming. When the Albanian national was quickly arrested after jumping from the window, he denied being involved in the production and claimed he was only visiting the property to collect some items.
Sure.
You know, I was just checking out the grass, man. I was just laying here the whole time.
I was out here just making sure that the fire escapes were working.
Jesus. Mr. Shaw said that was a lie. He later admitted his involvement, and he said he was simply the gardener. But which gardener? You mean the inside gardener, or was you legitimately just taking out, making sure the turf had been laid properly? You know, he had been instructed to look after the plants as payback to the people smugglers who brought him into the UK illegally. We've heard this story before, haven't we, everybody?
Yep, over and over and over.
This happens, man. He said he was not involved in harvesting the crop of cannabis. Mr. Shaw said police found a total of 167 cannabis plants. The electricity supply had also been bypassed illegally. There were heat lamps and fans and water filtration system. The prosecutor said the cannabis was well stocked with food. Sorry. Said the kitchen was well. I don't know why I read that. The prosecutor said the kitchen was well stocked with food and someone had been living in a bedroom. Police found keys in the bedroom which belonged to a Ford Focus car parked outside which contained a baseball bat. Oh no. My goodness. What an absolute degenerate criminal. Fucking baseball bat. The haul amounted to 13.4 kilograms of cannabis, which has the street value of £134,000. And I've said this before.
They weighed that wet, just saying.
No, even 13.4 kilos, so they're breaking it down so each gram is worth £10, which is true. You can sell each gram at £10. But you're not going to do that, are you? You're going to have what's that, 1,300 different sales? Stupid.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Stupidness. Mitigating Michael Forrest said his client was only 21 years old and was vulnerable due to being trafficked into the UK illegally. He said he is disgraced and was upset with himself because he got caught. He didn't say that. That was me saying something in the article. He came to the UK hoping for a better life and hoped to work as a mechanic. Now he will spend his 22nd birthday in custody. Fucking hell. It's ridiculous.
Likely story.
Yeah, this is what they all say. Sentencing the defendant, recorder Mark McCone, KC, said it was an operation capable of producing cannabis for commercial use. No shit. You were aware of the setup and it was an ongoing operation, he said. He jailed him for 15 months and added he would probably be deported soon after serving at least half the sentence. He passed an order for the destruction of the plants and equipment. Okay. So, yeah, guy got locked up for 15 months. He'll probably do like 8 months and then get out. But still,
I
man,
mean,
it's fucked.
so probably be deported. Like, why wouldn't you just at that point just send him on his way?
But you got to think, if he came here illegally and he
Mhm.
gets sent home straight away, he can just come here illegally again.
I mean, he can.
It's
but
not
he
like
can
he has
still do it
permission the
this way
first
too.
time.
It's
You know,
only an 8-month gap.
Yeah.
Like,
Stupidness. And he probably will.
difference.
He probably will. There's the borders on the UK are open. You just fucking walk in. You know,
Mhm.
it's
That's right.
it's a bit of a piss take. But and this has been happening so much, man. Just so many Albanian people just coming to the UK to grow weed, and you know, I don't fucking blame them. If
Right.
I was living in Albania, I would want to go to the UK and grow weed.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I can't judge these people. You know, they're not really doing anything wrong. If it was legal, like it should be here in the UK, this guy could have come here legally, sought a job legally,
Mhm.
paid
Mhm.
taxes legally, but instead he has to jump out of a fucking window to try and avoid being caught by the police for 167 plants. You know, just fucking 13 kilos. It's nothing really on the
Right.
grand scheme of things. You know, I mean, sure, it's a lot for a Percy grower, and he's definitely not growing for personal use. You know what I mean?
No,
But
hell
still,
no.
just because he's growing
Also,
cannabis and looking at selling to, it's not like he's gonna grow all these cannabis and go force it on people. Anybody consuming it is consuming it by choice. You know,
right.
it's a farce, right? We're still here in the UK. You know?
Mhm.
Fix the
Mhm.
fuck up, man. It's ridiculous.
How is there only one guy working there at this point in time? Like, is
They
that how
probably
it
do it in
always
shifts,
goes?
don't they? You know.
Hmm.
We're working in shifts,
Okay.
so maybe this guy stays for a while, and
Week
I don't
on,
know.
week off.
Or maybe he was just a slower runner than the rest. Everybody else jumped out the fucking window and got away. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, man. And Billy's in the chat there. He
Man.
says Albanian cannabis grow. No way. You know what I mean? Shocking, Billy. Shocking.
Yeah.
Shock horror.
I
Did you
mean,
know?
Jesus.
Did you know? Fucking hell. And again, not
So,
judging
so
them. So
who's bringing them here? Are the Albanians bringing Albanian people here?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
there?
Yeah,
I mean,
just the
that's how
same
it's
thing.
going?
There's some Albanian guys who come here illegally. People traffic other Albanians to
Mhm.
come in. It's like we can
Okay.
grow our own cannabis. We don't need help from the Albanians. We can do it ourselves. But I don't
Good.
know. That's how lucrative the cannabis industry is here in the UK. Is that there's
Mhm.
still going to be loads of English guys doing it, and this is another thing as well, because this used to happen a lot with the Vietnamese. It's like the English guys won't do it so much because if they get caught, they get sent to prison. They do a long fucking time, ruins their chances of having an ordinary life. They find it difficult to get jobs when they leave prison and shit like that. But someone from Albania
Right.
and Vietnam who's come here illegally anyway, they'll just fucking they'll come here, get caught, and then just go home, no consequences to be suffered. You know what I
Right.
mean? But an English guy who is from here, if he gets caught, he's going to suffer real consequences. So
Right.
you know, it's a completely different kind of story for them, isn't it? Different game, different set of consequences. Like, oh, I got caught. I just have to go back home, do I? You know. So
Yeah, I don't
it's fun.
understand it.
Again, I don't judge. You know,
Mhm.
it's just the way it is. It's not their fault they're in this position. It should be legalized and properly regulated. That's the way it should
Yep.
be, but it isn't. So we end up with shit like this. Again, another rigged electricity system as well. How many people put at risk? Oh,
Yeah.
what for? What for? Because in other countries, in other states in the USA, fully legalized.
Mhm.
167 plants ain't nothing.
Right.
Bullshit.
No.
But still.
I mean, so I wonder if they're all just doing this on their own with the electricity, or if they're like hitting up the electrical guy.
Yeah, they're
being
going to
like,
have
"Hey, man."
fucking Albanian electrician friends who come around and do it for a fee.
Right.
You know, that's
There you
what it's
go.
going to be. They'll be sticking together. It'll be like a gang thing. They're going to have a
Mhm.
specific guy they can call who can come and do this kind of shit on all of these different grows.
Right.
You know, it's going to be a big organized crime kind of thing. Like, huge, man. It's all over the
Yeah.
country. And not just this country. When we had the chick on from Iceland, Tota, she was saying Albanians are up in Iceland doing it as well. And I'm sure it's the same all over the place. Just
Right.
There's nobody left in Albania now. They've all fucking moved to different countries to grow weed. What the fuck? Madness, man. Madness.
Holy
Madness.
nuts. Yeah. Yeah.
Billy in the chat says, I lived with one years back. They paid him 25k per grow, but put it into his bank account in Albania, he would do 6 months there and 6 months back home. Did it for 3 years when I met him. Fucking ludicrous. No, you spelled lucrative wrong there, Billy. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
sure.
50 grand a year. 50 grand a year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah, man. That's more than like head teachers at school gets paid.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? You would do it, wouldn't you? I mean, what job are you getting in Albania that can pay that kind of money? 6 months on, 6 months off for 25 grand a year.
Right.
What job in Albania are you getting for that? It's not happening, is it? Know what I mean? You got kids to
Not a
feed.
damn chance.
You got a wife to keep happy.
Mm-hmm.
Need the money.
Maybe that's what they're doing. The husband comes here for 6 months, goes back, takes care of the kids. The wife comes here for 6 months.
Where have you been, Daddy? I don't even know Albanian accent, but you know, it's fucking. Oh, I'm working on an oil rig, son. You know, I'm a crab fisher like them guys on the TV. You know,
Yeah.
I'm an ice road trucker. You know.
Oh, Jesus.
I've been working in England. You know. But still, goddamn, man. Yeah, this is it's getting beyond the joke. And as I say, I don't think we're going to be legalizing here in the UK for at least 5 years. So these guys can still just come here and make a fuckload of money and fuck off if they're getting the shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way it is.
Off the chain.
Yeah.
Off the chain.
But that's all the news stories we have this week. And, you know, don't be jumping out of windows if the police kicking down the door. They're going to catch you anyway.
Yep.
You're saying?
And you might hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care of your knees. You'll miss them when they're gone. From that, everybody loves to wear sunscreen music video. Any forum news? I don't think there's much forum news. I've got postage to send out, but I've always got fucking postage to send out. Just that, you know, just waiting to get it all together and all parceled up so I can just go to the post office and just get it all done in one. But goddamn, it's been a busy week. It's been one of those weeks.
Yeah.
So I haven't got around to it just yet. Maybe this week, hopefully. I'll let everybody know when it gets sent out.
You got this, little buddy.
That's right. I'll get there. Anything else?
No.
I don't think so, is there?
No,
We've got a couple of interviews this week. I'm not entirely sure of which
you don't
ones.
know who?
Yeah, interview on Tuesday, interview on Thursday. So if you're a Patreon, you keep your eye out for the information there on Tuesday and on Thursday. Anything else? I'm sure there was other forum news. But yeah, if not, if there is no forum
was
news,
there a plant of the month or?
Yeah, we announced that last month. It was Viking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was it. We did all the promotions. Yeah, that's everything to add. Just again, you know, just condolences to Hannah Deacon's family, man. Fuck you know. Sure. Just tragic, man.
Billy,
tragic shit.
He interviews a vampire.
You know, I've never seen that movie. I've heard it's really good.
Shut up. Seriously?
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Isn't there a TV show about it now?
Oh, I hate vampires though. Vampires are fucking pretentious dickheads, man. You know.
that's where you go with this one.
Yeah, they are. I just hate the vampire character. Like, you know, I want to suck your blood. Fuck off, dickhead. Look at you. You're all pale and skinny and shit. You know, sucking nobody's blood, you weak ass motherfucker. You look like I'm gonna slap you. You're gonna break your neck. You come over here and try and bite people and shit. Fucking vampires. Kiss my ass. Fuck here now. You want blood? Bite out my fucking ass cheek, you fucking dickhead.
Have you watched What We Do in the Shadows or whatever the hell that name of that show is?
No, I don't even know what that is.
With Matt, what's his
Macky
name?
likes Twilight. You see what Philmy Bowl said there?
Yeah.
Jesus, Phil, that's offensive. Take that back. Take that back. Fuck.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, sorry, yeah. Vampire things just. I mean, Blade was good. I liked Blade. Blade was cool.
Okay.
But, yeah,
That
don't really do the whole
racist,
vampire thing. Yeah, what about Wesley Snipes, isn't it? Legend, man. Legend. Good TV. What else? I mean, we talk about vampires. What was it? The Lost Boys? Yeah, I thought that movie was a bit shit, too.
What?
Yeah, I thought that was a bit shit, man. People are like, oh my God, you can't say that about Lost Boys. It's like, watch it again. You'd stop letting nostalgia cloud the quality of movies you watched when you was a kid. They're not as good as you think they were. I'm telling you, I've seen them.
But that's only because they've come so far now. Like, they've changed so much.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck vampires.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I've heard that that
song?
new
We need to
one.
play
That
song.
you know, This is my United States of whatever. That one.
Mhm.
Remember that one? Yeah, tune.
That's what I was just talking about. We need to play that shit right now.
Buffy the Vampire
Whatever.
Slayer, shit. Twilight, shit. Yeah, just vampires never did it for me. I don't know. But apparently that Nosferatu, is that new one?
Yeah.
Well, it's saying new. It's probably been out for a while.
I haven't watched that.
Apparently
one yet.
that one's really good. But I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Maybe I'm just jealous because they're always unusually handsome, and all the women are like, "Oh my god, a vampire!" It's like, fuck off, fucking pale ass motherfucking vampire.
Fuck you, fuck.
I mean, look, yeah, that Bram Stoker's one. You know, what's with your fucking funky hair, man? What's wrong with your hair, bro?
Yeah.
Ah, but yeah, apparently that one's supposed to be good. You know, I should stop bitching about it and just watch some fucking vampire movies. That's what I should
Yeah,
do.
do it.
That's what I
You
should
need
do.
to watch the what we do in the shadows. That's hilarious.
All right. Yeah. Bram
So
Stoker.
good, man.
Yeah, anyway, that'll do for the rant there about fucking vampires.
Vampires.
Let us know what your favorite vampire movie is. We'll start a thread or something over on the forum. Oh, yeah, man.
Oh,
That's it for the news. Anything else to add, John? We good?
I think we're good, man.
Sweet. Let's
Well
go to the
worked.
smoke break. Let's chat some
Mhm.
shit again. Yeah, vampire movies, man. Just never did it for me. Did I tell you about that random movie? I put it up on the fucking forum on these YouTube videos. Just randomly scrolling through YouTube. And there was this guy, man thinks he's 14,000 years old, tells his friends, movie. And it was a movie. And I had to check it because I sent it a couple of times in a reel. You know, when you're going through Instagram reels or YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
And this guy, and it just looked like a good concept of a movie. So I was like, I'm going to check this out. I'm going to try to find it. What's it called? And it's called The Man from Earth or something it was called. And the guy's, he claims to be 14,000 years old. And it's just a group of people sitting in a room in a cabin.
Dude,
for like,
send me the name of that goddamn show. I've been trying to figure out what that show was, bro. I've seen a bunch of videos about it.
Oh, right, yeah. It's in the forum. I put the link up in one of the video threads.
I had to go find it.
And, you know, I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. I'll watch it. It's only an hour and a half. And, man, it was surprisingly good. Like, really fucking good, man.
All the videos I've seen of it, like, were just short clips, you know, a couple minutes or some shit.
Just intriguing, yeah.
I'm just like, I got to figure out what this movie is, man. But I knew nobody in the movie, right? Like, I had no name to go off of to go look it up. And I wasn't
think Tony Todd was in it. Remember Tony Todd? He was in it, like in his early days.
Maybe.
It's a real B movie, maybe even a C movie.
Yeah.
Very low budget, but good storytelling, man. You know, that's all you need for a good
man.
movie. It's a good story, and this definitely had it.
Another movie I haven't seen yet that I want to see is that one about the. God damn it, I can't remember his name. Anyways, he comes over and becomes like the soccer coach over there, or whatever. But he's an American.
Yeah,
right?
I think I know what you mean. Yeah,
I can't think of the name of that movie either. I had to look that one up too.
No, football doesn't bother me in that way. You know, it's like, oh, a film about football.
You can't be bothered.
Skip that.
It's not about the goddamn soccer, man. It's about what else is going on.
Yeah, that's how much I'm just not interested at all. Like, oh, football. Yeah, fuck that. Same with vampires. You know, might as well, imagine a group of vampires playing football. Imagine how much I'd hate that film. Jesus.
That'd be awesome. What are you talking about?
Cheeseface said any film made after 2010 is dead. Yeah, pretty much.
That's right. Movie and TV shows.
Yeah.
That must be what it's under.
But fucking that movie, Don't Look Up, was pretty good. Fuck. I love that movie.
Did I watch that?
Yeah, you should have. It was homework for everybody. Good movie.
I probably did, but
yeah, I haven't watched any movies this week. I don't think I've been too fucking busy. What about chess playing vampires, Macky? No, still shit. Sounds like a bunch of dickheads just throwing around chess pieces. You can just imagine them with their pretentiousness, like, look at checkmate. Like, no, mate, it's not checkmate. You just moved the fucking knight. It's not checkmate.
Yeah,
you were fucking knob. Stop being a pretentious dickhead. Like that.
Isn't that how all chess players are anyway?
What the fuck are you trying to say, John?
I'm just going off of the movies I've watched, which is
you know
what
I
you're
mean?
going off of about the
that's
vampires.
My fucking head in, man. You know, and another thing, it's like not just chess, but you know, like when people play poker, people play Texas Hold'em on TV, and it's like 4 of a kind. It's like royal flush. It's like what the fuck? That doesn't happen in real life. What are you talking about? And was it Maverick? It might be Maverick old Mel Gibson movie where
Yeah, the Mel Gibson
motherfucker,
one. Yeah,
he
yeah.
like one guy's like, yeah, four of a kind, another guy's like straight flush, and then the last guy's like royal flush. Like, fuck off, fuck off,
Oh,
Jesus.
that's awesome.
Mm-mm-mm.
I actually thought about every time I hear the Kenny Rogers song, the Gambler or whatever the hell came on in Walmart yesterday when I was walking around, and I thought about that movie playing poker. I was like, oh shit.
Fuck. The only good poker movie I've ever seen is Rounders. You ever seen Rounders? Like
No, I
Edward
don't think
Norton
so.
and Matt Damon.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
good movie,
Yep,
man.
I know
Hmm.
what you're talking about.
Back in
Hmm.
and John Malkovich.
I love John.
Yeah.
Have you seen the interview they did with Matt Damon about that? And he talks about that.
No, just an interview about it? No.
Yeah. So somebody had asked him, about that movie. Asked Matt Damon, right? Like it was Jimmy Kimmel or some shit, right? Like somebody did, anyways. And he's like, yeah. So nobody knew that John Malkovich was going to talk like that in the movie.
No.
He just sat down to do the scene, dude, and like he just started talking like that. It's like
That
what?
made the character, man. I was a good. I
Yeah,
haven't seen
bro.
that in so long. That was a good film. I'd watch that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, anybody got recommendations for TV out there? Been watching Mobland. It's a new one from Guy Ritchie, which is on Paramount Plus right now. God damn, it's good. It's good. But it's one of these. I mentioned it last week on the show, actually. I remember mentioning it because it's like you're just getting one episode every Sunday. And you have to wait. I
Yeah.
have to wait till next week to see the next episode.
I hate that too.
Yeah, that's fucked,
Fuck.
man. That's
Mhm.
fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. It pisses me off.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Shouldn't be allowed when you're paying premium prices for TV.
Well, but then I get pissed off too, though, if I get it all at once and I stream it and look at it for like 2 days and it's done, and then I'm like, fuck, now I gotta wait a year to get the next season. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I got distracted by a door opening.
Damn it.
Didn't hear what you said. Was it about vampires?
I was very emotional.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck. Now you make me feel like a dickhead. Fuck.
Didn't even give a heads up anybody. You know what I mean? Macky's just like, well, fuck it, he's got this, and just walks away for a minute.
No, I can reach the door here without having to get up. I mean, listening to a video that was well, it's like I didn't listen to it all because it was long, but I'm making my way through it. You know, playing a little bit of Minecraft. I told you I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't fucking start playing Minecraft. Fuck, just sit there fucking hours just mining blocks. Fuck, shouldn't have done it. I explained on the show that I want to start playing Minecraft. Might do a new Minecraft world, but I know I shouldn't. Well, I fucking did, didn't I? But as a result, I've been listening to shit in the background while I just mined mindlessly and build a big cobblestone wall for no reason. But anyway, I won't go into too much detail there. But man, yeah, like a 3-hour video on Greek mythology. And just listening to all this interesting shit about Greek mythology. That's some interesting shit, man. God damn. And
I love history, kind of.
There's this beer I really like called Lef. I think I've explained it to you before. L-E-F-F-E. It's called Lef or Lefe. I'm not sure. But then they mentioned just randomly, and he drank from the river Lef. I was like, oh, no way. Maybe that Lef beer is named Lef beer because of that particular river from Greek mythology. That's fucking cool.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you should have Googled that, like, immediately.
Nah, sometimes it's better to just wonder. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, interesting Greek mythology shit. You know, I've been reading that autobiography of a yogi as well, making my way through that. It's an interesting book.
Can't do the book thing.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, I tell you that.
Audio is
we know
fantastic.
where you've been at Letter Lee times Minecraft. Yeah, mate, but if you motherfuckers just drop a message, just be like, oh, Macky, what you up to? You want to come play Letter League? Then I'll come play Letter League. But everybody wants me to open up the room. I don't know if you're there or not. Gosh, man. Why is it always on me? Huh? Why me? Gosh. Fuck. Just because I run the show or something, you think I'm in charge? I'm not in charge, man. I'm just the guy with the microphone and the streaming software. Gosh, man. Gosh.
And the keys to the Discord. I mean, like, it's a thing.
No, it's all open. Anytime anybody can jump in the voice room and Discord. I started it, Viking. How dare you again, bro? You just wake up early and chose violence today, Viking. Is
Totally.
fuck.
He's
bro.
on one today.
Fucking hell.
Viking's like, fuck.
Gosh, might as well just fucking write Macky's cunt and chat here at this rate. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, but I was thinking it's been over a week since we played some Letter League, man. We do need to get a game.
Been a hot minute. I was thinking about it the other day, and then I had stuff to do.
Filmy Bowls there. He says, Greek, is that the one that had naked wrestlers all the time? Are you looking for that kind of vibe there, Phil? You just want to see some naked wrestlers?
Are you gonna look that up with that other thing Macky told us to look up?
That's right. No, oh no! Look, you're just instantly getting defensive.
Yeah.
God damn, you're Californian is showing there, Phil. You know.
Yeah, calm down.
Get rusty. No, I'll be fine. I got a crossword book as well. You know crosswords. Remember crosswords?
Yeah.
Just in case the power goes out. You know, just something to do if the power goes out.
So, is it a big one? Is it a little one?
It's got like 100 different puzzles in it, but it's real difficult.
Okay.
Man. Real difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Random shit we chatting. And we all see about GTA 6 has been delayed. You all seen that, right?
Of course. Why would they let something come out and take away their money from the one they got going right now?
That's
works,
right.
Apparently.
That's right.
Still haven't played that game yet.
Well, you haven't played GTA 5?
No.
That's too late now. Might as well not bother.
Right. Well, who knows when it's coming out?
Yeah. GTA 6 is going to be a while.
It's crazy to me, bro.
Yeah, and they put a trailer out, which was interesting.
I mean, but how much change? Like, they've been working on this for what? How many years do you think?
Fucking hell, 5 years or something? I don't know.
Okay, so how much has shit changed over that 5 years? And all they're doing is, nope, we can't release it.
Yeah. Oh, no, we're going to add this.
Some new technology came out, so now we got to redo everything again. What?
John Lewis said, I'm waiting on the new one. Yeah, I've got a friend out there, and he won't even get a PlayStation 5 till GTA 6 comes out.
Oh, Adam, I can't play the Battlefield.
No. GTA
I used
London
to love Battlefield
out.
back in the day, and it's shit now. I can't play it.
And Cheese just said in the chat, GTA London needs to come out. Fucking, they had a game. What was that game called? Was it, man? I don't know. They had a game like that, which was like GTA London. It was London, but GTA, but it wasn't called GTA London. It was called something else. Can't remember what the fucking game was called. But that was a good one back in the day. And it was like actually like the map of London. It was really accurate to London. But that was when London wasn't all fucked. You know, that was like 20 years ago. Damn. Yeah, good games.
Yeah, that game's been around for a long time. Hitman?
I don't think it was Hitman. But cause I thought it might have been Hitman, but no, it's a different name. It was, I can't fucking remember what it was called.
Age of Empires Viking?
Maybe it was Hitman. I don't know. It's been so long.
I don't remember.
Looks like Bishop to F4. Is Adam Bomber? He was just saying shit about chess players. Fucking John was. Did you hear
him? Listen, sorry. I got off on a little something there. Something
Bishop F3. Bishop F3. Okay.
Viking.
Yeah, he's not really talking about chess. Yeah, back in the day, I had to put 2 discs first, wouldn't run. Yeah, London dead. Yeah, London's bad. Resident Evil classic shit.
Yeah, that was a good game back in the day. I loved it.
See, that's it. I don't like vampire shit, but I love zombie stuff.
That makes absolutely no sense because zombies are stupid.
Yeah. What?
You heard what I said.
Yeah, it is a really stupid concept, isn't it? It is because
the dumbest shit ever.
What don't make sense the most, right? I know it's zombies. A lot of it just doesn't make sense anyway. But let's say, for example, The Walking Dead. They're all pretty similar. But, you know, you have to injure the brain. You have to stab the brain to stop the zombie from fucking working. Headshots work, and then they're dead.
Okay.
But you see these zombies like heavily decomposed, where all the soft tissue is gone, and the brain is going to be like dissolved, gone. It's going to rot away.
Right,
does the brain just not rot? You know, it makes no sense, does it?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like,
So
I
when
mean,
you
that's
stab it in the
one.
head, there's no brain in there anyway, because it's already dissolved. It's gone.
Or do you think that all these zombies are like recent zombies? Except for some of them, like are dragging half a body. Like it doesn't even make any sense, bro.
They're
Not
just
at
trying to
all.
fucking figure
And
out how
who
much
in the
zombies make
fuck
sense. Jesus.
who can't run away from a zombie, man? Like, what is the deal?
Fat chicks.
It's called The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like, huh?
Wow.
Oh.
Are you allowed to say fat chicks now?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I think it might be a slur. What was it? Calorie excessive person or something?
What?
You
I
see
haven't
that
heard that
that Dr. No? I think that guy, Dr. No. Have you seen that guy? It's just
I've
this
heard
really old guy who dyes his hair. Weird looking guy, but he talks to a lot of fat people. And you see him on the reels sometimes as well. And he talks really funny like this.
Oh.
And it's this massive fat lady. And he's like, "What have you been eating?" And she's like, "Oh no, just like chicken and other stuff. You know, I've got to eat something." And he's like, "No, you
Oh, I
don't.
think I've seen
You've
that
eaten
video.
enough food to last 4 years. You don't need to eat anything. You've eaten it all in advance." Jesus, guy, calm down, man.
He's just giving it.
Just fucking eating it all in advance.
my.
Jesus, guy's funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Anyway,
I
random
mean, I get
tangents
it.
over.
Some people are
Gosh.
big, but like, America did it to us. I'm telling you. They just let it happen to that shit food.
Billy getting political in the chat. Yes, Billy, we can't read that out. Jesus, Billy. Gosh. Gosh. But yeah, I agree. I used to be one of those. But anyway, let's not get into that story. Jesus.
Ooh,
Billy always likes to get political, you know. I don't like talking politics. You all know that, right?
Lion
Right.
bastard.
That's right.
Mhm.
Fucking love politics. That's my pro wrestling, that shit.
Naked pro wrestling or
Well, if it's
what
chicks,
I did
yeah,
there,
sure,
Phil?
but you know, I don't know. I
Oh,
think I'd
God.
get a little bit self-conscious if I was watching blokes like
Okay.
wrestle naked and shit. I mean,
I
imagine
get
Tombstone
self-conscious
Pile Driver with naked fucking that would be fucked. You know?
How did we get here?
You know.
Phil,
Oh,
thank
it's
you.
Phil's fault. It was Phil. Blame Phil. That's right.
Oh man. Okay.
Right, yeah, so anyway, should we go and talk about some raised beds? I think we should.
Yes,
Raised
let's all
beds
learn
with
together.
zombies buried in them.
Oh God, shit.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Brains.
You know what though?
What's up?
Would the
You know.
vampires be taking care of the zombies though?
No. Vampires too pretentious. They don't give a fuck about anybody. Not going to take care of no zombies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck vampires. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. So here we are, episode 42 and part 3 of the series where we're talking about making living soil and, you know, doing your own compost/compost. And then we're going to put it in a raised bed, which is today. And this can be done indoors or outdoors, but we're going to be talking mainly about how to do it indoors. Because, you know, that's where most of you guys are going to be growing. But you can do this outdoors as well. Have you ever done a raised bed, John?
No. Well, okay. So not for cannabis.
Right.
And I didn't do it anywhere near this when I did it outside for a couple vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know what you're saying? Because this is, many people have grown like this, but just with vegetables, haven't they?
Right.
Yeah, and
Right.
it's a common
It's
way
kind
to
of a
grow in
common
like
thing,
back
right?
garden. I
Yeah.
think so as well. It seems kind of common, you know. If you want to grow in your back garden but not dig holes and stuff, then people grow in a raised bed. So the principle is essentially the same thing. You're just gonna build some walls and you're gonna fill it with some soil and put your plants in it. That's essentially what you're gonna do. It's a good way to do it because you're not gonna have to lean over all the time to water the plants in the ground. You know, or when they're low down in pots, it's going to be higher up, so that's going to be easier for you to deal with as well. So it makes watering a little bit simpler if your back's a bit fucked. You know, if you're over 40 and your back's going, then, you know, you get nice and easy to water. Well, there's loads of benefits for this shit. And as we've already explained, we've started off with the making your own compost and then making your living soil. and the living soil you've made is going to be put into this raised bed that you're going to be building, that we're going to be explaining how to do today, with some other stuff as well, because we're not just going to put a shitload of soil in there. We're going to make this
Right.
horizontal bed where it's going to have different layers, like stones with some leaves and some cardboard to have the fungi grow. There's some compost, then your soil's going to go on top of that, and then you're going to have another layer where you put in hay, straw, and different feedings to water in and all that kind of shit. But we're going to cover that in another episode, what kind of shit you can use for top dressing and how to make your own organic nutrients at home. That'll be done next week. So this week, we're going to talk about making this fucking raised bed. All right, so it's a pretty simple concept. If you got a grow tent, let's say you got a 4x4 grow tent, then you would essentially try and fit a 4x4 raised bed in it. It might be good to have just like 10 centimeters or so around the sides, so you can put a fan there, or you can easily put some equipment there if you wanted to. You don't necessarily need to fill the whole thing out because the plant stems are going to be in the middle, but you want loads of space for your roots to grow in. So build a big enough one to fit it in, and if you're going for the 4x4, then just maybe a meter by 1 meter by 1 meter, so you got the edges. Just put things around there. That would be a good size. And then you could put your 100 liters of soil in that, but not just the soil on its own. You're going to have other stuff as well. So, and of course, in the grow tent, you're going to need, you're going to have some space for some airflow, so you can have the fans blowing shit around. You're not just going to put the whole bed in there and take up all the room. You're going to need space for little bits of equipment like that as well. And access to the vents at the back in case you need to get there. Bear that in mind too. You want some space, man. Well, yeah, pretty easy to do. We're going to talk about building it in a second, but when you build this, you want to have something underneath it as well. It's not going to go directly onto the floor. You're going to put this thing on legs, maybe, just so you can put some runoff trays underneath, just in case you water it too much and the water needs to drip out of the soil at the bottom. You don't want it going directly into the floor, and you don't want it getting trapped in there. So you want to have something that you want to have the trays underneath to catch the water as it falls out as well. So bear that in mind. Well, so what you say, John? What kind of materials you're going to need to build this raised bed?
Well, we're going to need some wood, most likely, because it's readily available. But we're going to use some untreated pine or cedar. I would opt for cedar myself.
Was that for the look? Would that be
no, because it's lighter.
Okay.
And it can withstand, moisture and the elements better than pine. You're going to want to line it with a pond liner. I don't know what EPDM rubber is exactly, but I'm
probably
assuming
shit specifically for ponds, yeah.
Right. And that pond liner shit is thick, bro.
And you want to get good stuff because this raised bed is going to be there for a while, and it's going to build it for one grow. You want this thing to last years, and you don't want to have to change that pond liner.
Don't go to Home Depot and get plastic.
Yeah, and don't just use black bags and shit. Bin liners. You want to get the proper shit that's going to last for a while, so it doesn't break down and you have to change it in a couple of years. Because the bed still might be good. So you want to make sure that that liner's good. You want to make sure that the wood's good. Because, again, the liner's going to protect the wood. You're going to be using the untreated wood. You don't have no dodgy paints and heavy metals and shit leaching into your soil.
Arsenic.
You know what I mean? Yeah, some nasty shit can leach in there. You're going to try and be all fully organic, and then you're going to be using this shed paint to make sure your wood don't rot. Don't make no sense. Just don't make no sense. The glove don't fit, So,
the glove don't.
You know what I mean? If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. It just don't make any sense. Remember that episode of South Park? Epic.
Yes.
Yeah, so make sure you get good shit, and then you don't necessarily have to build this thing. Cause, building it would be good. You're going to have 4 posts with the planks down the side of it. Going to screw them in, don't nail them, because if there's too much pressure, it's going to come out. So you want to screw them in, make sure they're all good and sturdy. Take a little bit of woodwork, but it's only simple stuff. It's nothing too complex. But you can cut out that middleman altogether and just get the fabric one, right? Have you seen these ones before? Have you seen it?
I've seen them, and I've always wondered, because I think they would be kind of cool, but like the grassroots living soil beds, I looked at those. I was thinking about getting one, but then I decided to go my different way or whatever. But they look really nice, and in my opinion, because I use fabric pots, I think it would be better.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be easier to pack away when you're not using it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and they look nice. They look so tidy. You don't have to fuck
Right.
around with all this wood and shit. They're going to be a lot
Right.
lighter. You know, and you,
Yeah.
Jeremy from Builder Soil has been on the show before, and I think them guys use that as well. They use them fabric kind of raised beds. They're definitely something
Mm.
that should be checked out. I just don't know what goes on with the bottom, you know, because as I said, you want a little something where the runoff can get out. Do you want
I
to
think
have?
they have their own trays built in though, don't they? Like
I'm
some
not
kind of
sure. Not sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh yeah, Adam. I remember him saying that.
Yeah, Adam said,
I
yeah, because
remember
we got,
him saying
it's a good shout there. We had Marco on the show many times, you all know this, but there's one specifically where we talk about this in detail with Marco, and he grows in a raised bed, and we talk about growing it and how to maintain it and things like that. So definitely check out that episode if you haven't done that already. But Adam says, I just did what Marco said and wrapped saran wrap around the outside, leaving the bottom 4 inches open. Yeah, man.
okay.
It's a good technique as well, because you want to try and
Mm.
keep moisture evenly balanced. You don't want it rushing out the sides. So,
Right.
you know, to prevent that from happening, you can use saran wrap, aka cling film, if you're here in the UK. And yeah, that will work,
Yeah.
man. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, and you want it to be at least 12 to 18 inches deep, by the way. We didn't say
Yes,
that.
yes.
You know, so like a 4x4, 12 to 18 inches deep. That's a lot of soil.
But it's not all going to be soil. That's the thing.
No, no, you know.
Yeah, it's not all going to be soil. It's going to have all this different stuff in it. But
Mm.
I don't know. It feels as if maybe it depends on how many plants you're going to put in there. I would say maybe even 2 feet would be decent. You know, to 24 inches. I don't know. It just
Ooh,
feels as if 12 inches wouldn't be enough. That's what Billy
she
said.
said.
Yes.
I have a poll. I have a poll. Wait. Now that we're on the saran wrap thing, is it saran wrap or is it sarin wrap, people? Okay.
Oh gosh. Gosh.
It's a question. Well, giant grasses said saran wrap, and I thought of that. I don't know.
Yeah, it said here in the lining tip as well. Add small drainage holes if you risk overwatering with a catch tray below. So yeah, so
Mm.
you don't want to overwater it and have the water stay in there, because that's when things start getting funky. It starts smelling dodgy. You know, the bacteria wouldn't be very happy. You got to keep the oxygen going in there just like anything else. So you're gonna, if you do overwater, which isn't likely, you're gonna be careful when you are watering. But if you do, you want to make sure that it can get out. So having that tray underneath so you can get rid of that runoff if necessary is a bonus. Try and keep that in mind when you're making this raised bed as well. And as I say, pretty simple. Use your planks of wood to build it to the size of the grow space that you have. Make sure you leave some gaps on the side for the equipment. You know, you're building it 12 to 18 inches high with some pond liner on the inside to make sure it doesn't spill out. And yeah, that's good. Or just go out and buy one of those material ones, the fabric ones, which is, you know,
Yep.
it saves you messing around with all that fucking wood and actually building something. But I would prefer a wooden one myself personally, and that's just personal preference, just because I think it would look really nice, you know. So yeah,
I think it
that
would
would
be
be
great,
my way.
but I
Hmm.
would use cedar over pine.
Yeah, I would use oak just because I'm English. You know, but that would be expensive. Imagine how fucking expensive it would be to build that shit out of oak.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Right, so once that's built and you've got your tray
Mm.
underneath and, you know, it's all built up on the sides and shit, you're going to actually lay this soil in there. But you're not going to take your soil, your 100 litres that you built last week, you're not going to take that and just pour it all in there and that's it. 'Cause you were going to do this thing called horizonal soil, where it's built a little bit more like nature has built the soil. You know, there's different layers to this shit. So you're going to start off with the first layer, which is all about drainage. You want to make sure that the water can run out of it nice and easy and it doesn't get all trapped up. So people will tend to use stones here. You can use pumice, some lava rock, or some perlite. But what I would do, and I think what Marco does as well, is you can just go to the river. You know, there's got to be a river close to you. Just scoop up some
Mhm.
fucking stones, man. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Free, local, got local bacteria on it. You know what I'm saying? And for
Mhm.
2 to 4 inches, you want to just have like stones, just small pebble stones. Not too small, not too big either. You know, just imagine the size of a coarse perlite and use some of that. Throw some pumice and
Mhm.
lava rocks in there. Maybe we use a mix of it. You know, just some pebbles with some more small stones as well. Just to make sure that there's lots of air getting to the bottom and some space for drainage as well. And that's going to be, again, 2 to 4 inches. It's going to be just that. So just think about the weight of that already. And this is what concerns me with these raised beds is the
Mhm.
weight of it. You know,
It's heavy, bro.
if you got that upstairs, and this is just the first layer, fuckload of stones, 2 to 4 inches of just stones. You know, a little bit of sand in there maybe to help prevent the waterlogging. You know, it's like, yeah, that shit's gonna get heavy. So I just would always recommend do this on the ground floor. You know, where it's on concrete or something. It's not just gonna collapse through the fucking ceiling of the room underneath it.
It's a good idea. Honestly.
So what's next, John? What's the next layer after the stones?
We're gonna go with our carbon and fungal layer, 1 to 2 inches of that, and that's gonna be your shredded leaves or straw or corrugated cardboard. And it just encourages fungal growth.
Yeah, so something for the myceliums to eat, way down deep in the soil there.
I mean, all that's gonna break down too, you know. So, yeah,
over time.
It's good. Yeah.
Right, and then the next, after you've had that shredded leaves and straw and the corrugated cardboard added, then you have this biological layer. And this is where you can use just your straight up compost or worm castings that you had before, you know, but you used to mix into the soil that you've built. But you're just going to be using that. And that's going to be 2 to 3 inches of just that. Because that's going to have loads of microbes in it. It's going to have loads of bacteria, fungi. It's going to have nutrients. The roots can reach down there and try and take shit from there if it wants to. It's going to help the mycelium and the fungi grow in the layer underneath that. You know, it just keeps things nice and happy, man. Lots of nutrients are going to be in your soil. Lots of microbes are going to be in your soil if you're using that biological layer. So you got the 2 to 4 inches of stones so far, and then 1 to 2 inches of the shredded leaves and straw, and then biological layer, which is going to be the compost or the worm castings, which you can use.
Another 2 to 3.
And then you add that soil which you built last week, right, John?
That's the gold, baby. Living soil is what we're going to do. We're going to put 8 to 10 inches of that. We made it up already. It's 100 liters. We're going to throw that in, and it's going to have our balanced NPK. It's going to be full of our organic matter, material, and our microbe life. Now, before we go on, I have a question about the last one we talked about.
Right.
So what do you think, and I don't know, this maybe is a Marco question, but like, would a mix of compost, and worm castings be better than just one or the other?
Well, I would say, I don't know for sure, but variety is the spice of life and all that. Maybe it would be good to mix them, but worm castings is the best. If you got worm castings, there's so much goodness in that, for the way it's broken down, the bacteria from the shit. You know, there's just different shit in that worm castings, man. So
I guess my question is like, would you be overloading it?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you
like
just
too
use
many
worm
nutrients.
castings, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's my question. But we're getting heavy here with this thing, man. What do we got?
We want to give as much info as we can.
Yeah.
And yet the weight as well for being heavy.
Yeah.
You know, this is starting to get heavy. But I don't know. I would say maybe just for drainage, add the compost and the worm castings together, 50-50. You know? And then that's going to have the different microbes in, different texture from the shit that's left behind, you know? And eventually it'll all mix together anyway. You know, the microbes will spread throughout the whole thing. So I think the more microbes you can add, the better. And there's going to be more of a variety in microbes when you're using both compost and worm castings. You know what I mean?
Adam says he ran at least 25% worm casting.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
See, I'm learning.
shit.
I want to know the info on this. It's beautiful.
Yeah, man. So, and then the living soil layer went on there, as you mentioned. That's going to be 8 to 10 inches. So that's going to be the majority of the bed here at this point. And obviously, we explained last week when you're making this living soil, once you've mixed it all up and everything's added in there, all your ingredients are all added in, and you've watered it properly, and then you've let it sit for like 4 to 6 weeks just to let it cook and really get out there. And at that point, you're moving it in. You know, you don't just get it straight away and stick it into the raised bed, unless you're going to do that and let it sit there for 4 to 6 weeks so it can properly cook. You could do that, but you know, don't just use it, throw it in there and get going straight. I mean, you could do that, but it might be a little bit too hot. Might burn your plants.
Yeah,
because it's you know, too many nutrients.
Might be a little bit too much green in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So once that's done, put it in there, and you're gonna let this sit as well. You know, for a week, you're gonna let this soil settle. You don't just throw it all in there straight away and start planting things, and you're gonna let it settle once it gets in here as well. After that living soil layer, we got the mulch layer, and this is where the magic happens. Really, this is what Marco talks about a lot, where what he's putting at the top of his soil at this point. That's going to get broken down and go into the soil itself. He uses a lot of straw for this kind of thing, leaf mold. You can use shredded bark, but the thing is with shredded bark, it can be a bit woody, and if it's a bit woody, you tend to get fungus gnats and shit with that. So you got to be careful about using some things, man. If you have big chunks of wood, just more likely chance of there being a fungus gnat showing up in the grow, which you of course want to be careful of. So Marco likes to use straw. He uses like a few inches of straw on the top, and that works well for him. And he puts his rabbit poop in there and shit like that as well. His IMO, but we'll discuss that in a little bit. And that just stops all the moisture evaporating out of the top of the soil, because the straws there stopping that from happening. Keeps temperatures a little bit more even. It's not going to get hot and cold depending on how close the lights are and all that shit. And it's going to feed the microbes, and the microbes are going to eat it. It'll break down, and they'll poop it out and turn it into food for the plants. Which is good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So you
beautiful
add all that shit together, all pretty easy, like you said. Just to recap on all of those there, where you have the stones at the bottom, pumice, lava rock, or coarse perlite, 2 to 4 inches of that. Then you're going to have the carbon slash fungal layer, where you add in shredded leaves, straw, or corrugated cardboard. There's going to be 1 to 2 inches of that, so we're on like 3-4 inches so far. Biological layer, where it's just compost or worm castings or a mix of the two. That's going to be 2 or 3 inches on there. Say we're on about 7 inches so far. So it's quite a bit, it's quite a bit so far. 6-7 inches.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And remember, underneath that, you got the trays as well. So we're going to a couple of inches for the trays there underneath. That's going to catch all the runoff. So that's another couple of inches added to it. Then you're going to have your actual living soil layer. It's going to be between 8 and 10 inches. Let's just say 10. So we're looking at fucking 18 inches already at this point. Then on the top of that, you're going to have 1 or 2 inches of the mulch layer. And, that can differ on size depending on how fluffy the straw is, if you know what I mean, how big it is. Yeah. So and you're going to need a couple of inches there. So this is what we're saying at the start about how 24 inches, 2 foot might be best for the height of the thing altogether. 20 inches for the actual bed piece of it, the actual raised bed is about 20 inches, and then just a couple of inches underneath, that's just legs, so you can put trays underneath it and take them out if necessary. So it's quite substantial. And then you got a couple of feet and your grow tent that's been taken up. But that's usually taken up by pots anyway. It's going to be a little bit taller than most pots are, but not massively. It's not going to be a huge amount. You're going to be all right. It's not going to be too tall at all. Right. It's a decent way to do it, man. And this shit, once it's built, once it's in there, it's going to be sitting there for years. You're just going to keep amending it, And there's lots of different ways to amend that shit. Like you want to talk about inoculation and bioactivation there, John?
Yeah, let's get into it. So you can add some mycorrhizal fungi. I hate that word so much. Can't say
mycorrhizae.
Mycorrhizae, but that's only when it doesn't have the AL on the end of it, right?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah. We're talking about
mycorrhizal
fungi, not mycorrhizal. I don't know. I'm not a fucking soil scientist.
Anyways, when you're transplanting your plants, man, you want to use that. It's going to help boost them. Water in the bed. You're going to use compost teas, lactic acid bacterias, indigenous microorganisms, your IMOs.
That's what Marco loves as well. He makes loads of his IMOs and the different, and we're going to discuss this next week as well, how to make the lactobacillus, how to make the IMO, how to make these kind of things. But that Marco, he loves the IMOs. That's what he feeds a lot of his plants with.
I've heard a lot of people talk about them, but if you're not doing soil, I don't know. I don't use it.
Yeah, I don't use it either. It's pretty easy to make though. I have made it in the past, but I don't use it. Not in cocoa grows. In soil grows. Microbes are everything when it comes to these soil grows, man. That's the big difference between hydro grows and soil grows, is the fact that you're going to use all these different microbes to your advantage.
Right.
It makes a big difference.
They're doing the work for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, helping you do it, helping you along.
Yeah. Helping you, I should say. Yeah. What else we got here? Beneficial nematodes or predatory mites to support natural pest control. Predatory mites is probably a good one with soil.
Yeah, man.
Worms. We'll talk about that a little bit later. To keep the soil active and self
Hmm.
renewing. Just like
Yeah,
your
man.
little worm castings you're making.
That's right.
Boom.
And the worms as well. Like when the worms are going through the soil, they're gonna add air to it as well and keep them little trails they make is gonna help air get to the root zone. So worms are always good to add to it. I remember the one time we did an interview with Chris Trump, and he was showing us one of these farms that a commercial farm, and them guys had like proper raised beds like this, like Horizonal soil and everything. And he put his hands in, scooped up some soil out of one of the beds, and just showed us fucking loads of worms living in it. It's fucking cool as fuck, man. Mm-mm. And the worms you can add, it's just same as like in your worm bin. You want to try and get a variety because these different worms live at different levels. The red wigglers like to live at the top, European nightcrawlers in the middle, or something like that. I don't know exactly where they live, but they all live in different places and populate at different amounts. So it's good to have a variety of different types of worms. So get the red wigglers, get the European nightcrawlers, and the Indian blue worm is a good one. That's fast producers apparently. No, I don't know these guys, but they prefer warmth and moisture as well. Apparently they're good to put in your raised bed. Yeah,
I like the name of those guys.
Yeah,
Perionyx
excavatus. Sounds like fucking Harry Potter spell, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I like it.
Anyway, yeah. So in a bed of like 4x4. The kind of bed that we're talking about here, and your 4x4 tank going to grow 4 plants in it and shit. All right, then you're looking in between 500 and 1,000 worms. There's going to be a lot of worms in there, So
and they're going to keep growing.
Yeah,
they're going to make more.
Mm-hmm. They'll reach some kind of some peak capacity when there's just not enough room for them anymore, and they'll eat a certain amount of food. And when there's not enough food for them, they'll stop producing so much.
Right.
Between 5,000 and 1,000 worms is good, and you're just gonna keep things happy. Keep them microbes happy because the worms are gonna die in there as well, and they're gonna get consumed by the microbes. That turns those into nutrients as well. This whole circle of life thing goes on. That's happening right there in the soil, and it's all organic and just natural when you're rolling like this. It's like when you're growing in this method, you don't necessarily feed in your plants. You feed in your soil, maintaining your soil to keep that happy, and that's what's going to feed your plants. A completely different method of growing. Gotta keep that soil happy, man. Yeah, but the watering can be a little bit difficult, right? I mean, this is a thing. You growing soil, John? You just cocoa for you?
Just hydro / peat for me.
It's one of the
I grew
problems,
soil one time and.
Yeah, overwatering is an issue, isn't it? It happens, man.
Yeah. I think that was one of my biggest problems when I was doing soil.
Yeah. And with a raised bed, because we recommend when people grow in soil, if they're in pots, you can lift the pot and then you can tell if it's too light. You're not lifting this motherfucking raised bed, are you? Once it's built, you're not picking up all that shit, being like, oh yeah, that definitely needs watering. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna happen,
Superman,
man.
you can come over and go, yeah, that's about right.
You
should put about a gallon in there.
Yeah. So you're not gonna be able to do that. So you're gonna have to, just practice. Take some practice. You'll get used to it. But again, this is where you got the trays underneath. If you do overwater, the extra water's gonna pour out the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And then and then you can just scoop it away. So just be careful of that. You can use these blue mat drippers or blue mats. This device that many people use. I think the guys that build the soil again use these blue mats, and that will keep it wet to a decent level. Or just water it by hand. Just get used to how much you water in it, but pay attention to it. You can take the soils where, it's that old pencil trick where you get a pencil, you put it in the top bit of the soil. It reminded me of that joke Viking said earlier. And then if soil sticks to it, then it's still wet. But if you put it in there for a couple of inches, put it back out, and there's nothing on it, I mean, soil's too dry. So give it just a brief watering, and just water a little bit. Don't water too much. Right. You know what I mean? It's easier. It's really easy to overwater with this shit. And if you get runoff, all your microbes and your nutrients are gonna start flushing out of the soil into the fucking water. You don't want that either. So you just don't water too much, just a little bit at a time. Yeah, water slowly, and try not to disturb any of the layers while you're doing it. Maintain even moisture. So, yeah, I mean, I'm quite lazy when it comes to watering because me and Coco, we can just fucking throw water at it and it just pour through.
Yeah.
It's easy. But if you let the soil dry out too much, it gets a little bit hydrophobic and then water just runs down the edges. So you're going to have some bits that are wet and some bits that are dry. You got to try and ensure that that doesn't happen. So just water evenly. So I used to just throw a jug on top, all good. But you can get these pumps, these watering pumps, man, like for killing weed killers. But you use it for watering instead, and you can just fill that up like 5 liters, fill it up with the water, pump it, and then fucking spray.
Give her a spray down.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
easy. And,
I like
and
the
just so you know, there with the watering as well, because you got all these microbes and things, you want to try to avoid using chlorinated water like tap water and things like that. I mean, if you have to, you have to, but you can let it sit for 24 hours. You can use some vitamin C to try and take out the chloramine and shit like that. There's stuff you can buy. But best if you can to use clean rainwater. Store some rainwater, completely natural then, innit? And just water that. Give that to your plant. Yeah, if you're allowed to, fucking hell.
Sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy how that's a crime in some places.
Yeah. It's mental. So mental.
What kind of temperatures we're talking then, John? Are you just standard?
Well, 18 to 24 C or 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
For the
Now
soil
I
temps,
question, for the soil temps. So is this on average? Like, I'm wondering if the flowering is going to be warmer yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Maybe you're bumping up that temp.
The cooler you keep it, like if you keep it around those levels, and the terpenes are not going to evaporate so much. So I think them levels would be good. Yeah, just the soil we're talking about as well. If it gets too warm, the worms will start going crazy, and they won't be very comfortable living in there. Neither will the microbes. So you have to try and keep that at the right level. And if it gets too warm and too many microbes start dying, the soil's going to go funky, man. It starts smelling funny. You don't want that to happen. So you got to try and keep it as cool as possible.
Right. Yep. And then we're going to want to keep a relative humidity of around 55 to 65% for the microbes and the worms to thrive. So that's the soil. Is that the soil humidity? Like, is there some kind of, or are we just talking general relative humidity?
Yeah, just like the air humidity, I think, just around.
Okay.
I
can get behind that.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. And then you don't want your fans blowing directly on the surface of your soil. I don't like to do that either, though. Like, even with my grows, I don't like to have it blown right on my pots.
Yeah, it dries the top out faster than the rest of it. You want it you want it to dry out evenly. And if you're just blasting air at the top, and the top's going to be dry in half hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and even if you're using fabric pots, it happens even faster.
And they're exactly on the outside as well.
Yeah. So don't do that. Keep your fans up. So that it's blowing on your plants, not on your soil.
And when we talk about the mulch layer here as well, because you got this this top couple of inches layer here that's just made up of your hay and your alfalfa meal, whatever you're using for your mulch layer at the top, your leaves, that kind of shit that's being broken down. You want to top that up every few weeks. You see when it starts to get low, of course, and then just top it up again. You don't want to have too much of a thick layer. A couple of inches is plenty. 1.5 2 inches, that's plenty. That'll help keep the moisture in, but it also gives the worms and the microbes something to eat. And you can just use straw, alfalfa, hay, some chopped comfrey and shit like that. And whatever your plants might be missing, if you got the IMO with some rabbit shit in there, like our friend Margot does, then put that shit on the top of there as well. Just keep a nice balanced level over the top, because that's all going to be broken down and make its way into the soil where it's going to be consumed by everything and turned into nutrients. How fucking awesome is that? I mean, you can't get any more natural than that. Nothing out of a bottle.
No.
Just all this homemade fucking fresh natural shit. Yeah, man. That's the way to go. Yeah, you can add little bits of food as well. You have to be careful though when you're adding foods. Like a soft banana peel or lettuce, because you want to feed the worms as well. Make sure that they're good and happy, so they need treats sometimes. But you have to be careful. Don't let it sit there, get rotted and moldy. So don't put too many in there. And if it does start to get moldy, chop it up a little. Because the smaller the better. Because that's but not like to a juice kind of standard. You don't want that kind of thing.
No,
You
no,
want it
no,
to be
no.
small
But I mean,
pieces.
like, you shouldn't be just eating a banana, walking around watering, and then just toss a banana peel.
Yeah. Don't do that.
You know,
No, because it'll
you're
go
gonna have fruit
moldy.
flies and shit,
Yeah. You
other
know what I'm
bugs
saying?
coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Don't do it.
don't bury them too deep as well. You might cover them a little bit, just man, like half a centimeter. Just lay it on the top, put a little cement over it, and the worms will be like, "Ooh, something smells delicious over there." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So,
It's like a Disney movie or a Pixar movie.
mhm. Like that South Park episode again, ain't it?
Yeah.
Who put you in charge? God did when he took my Kelly and my baby. Remember that episode?
Oh my god, man.
Lyscapades. That was the end. That was the name of the episode. Lyscapades. Epic. Fucking hell.
Jesus.
Yeah, so you can use for the nutrient cycle using top dressings instead of liquid feed. You know, because you're gonna put this stuff in there. And when you're watering it, it's gonna break down and make its way into the soil where the microbes and the worms will break it down. Nice and easy, you know. So you're not gonna be using these liquid nutrients very much. I mean, you can at some point, but you make sure it's homemade organic shit, which we'll cover on the next episode. So you use malted barley powder, but that can get expensive. But you're only going to be using small amounts, 1 tablespoon for every square foot per month. But when you're operating a 4x4, that's 16 square feet. So you're going to be using 16 tablespoons. So, you know, it's going to kind of add up. But still, it's going to be cheaper than buying nutrients from the grow shop. You know, a bottle of advanced nutrients and shit, 40 to 50 quid. You're not spending that on malted barley powder, are you? You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't think so.
Then you got the neem meal, the kelp meal, castration meal, all that kind of shit. You know, just mix it all up, top dress it, water it all in. Yeah, nice and easy. And as John mentioned earlier as well, these compost teas you can use. You know, and you give that every 3 to 4 weeks. You don't use it all the time, but you know, want to top up the bacteria now and again. And it's always good if you can make this compost tea yourself out of your own compost. You're just going to get a handful of it. You're going to put it in something like stockings or an old sock. Make sure Billy hasn't got hold of it. And then you're going to just put that in a bucket of water. Like you can just put a wooden spoon or something over the top, hang the fucking thing over with a peg on it. So it's just dangling there in the middle. Add an air stone. And you're good. Let that just sit there for 24 hours. And that's going to make up some nice compost tea there, but you can just water that straight to the plant. It's going to be very fucking happy.
So how much you saying make up, you think? Like, how much is that making up? Are you making up a gallon at a time?
I would say do it when it depends on how much you water. And by that point, you should know how much are you watering. Every 3 days, you give in 5-6 liters. You know, so on one of those particular days where you're going to go water the plants and give it the 5-6 liters, just mix up those 5-6 liters and, you know, 24 hours earlier and add the fucking sock to it and let the compost tea aerate like that. You know, because it's got the worms in there as well, and they're going to make loads of shit. They're going to make this leach shit. Leach it. It's called, not leach shit. Leach it is what it's called. And that's like their piss and shit that comes out the soil and drips. And if you got that, don't use that straight up in there. You can water that down like 10 to 1 and it'll be a good nutrients. But if it's just straight up compost tea, yeah, man, just do it like that. Like I said, in the bucket, air stone it 24 hours. Just water that. The plants do that once every 3 or 4 weeks. And that'll keep all the nutrients running nicely, you know, in between what the microbes are making, what the worms are making, what you're adding to the top where it's being broken down, and some compost tea in there. That's plenty of nutrients to keep you going. You know, there's not a single thing there you've had to go to the grow shop for. This is all stuff you can do in your back garden, you know?
Right. I mean, this all sounds so wonderful.
Yeah,
like
it's just the initial setup.
If you can grow legally, especially, I feel like you should just be doing this. I should be doing this. I'm kind of pissed I'm not now.
Yeah, but it's one of them, innit? You have to figure out what's good for you. And cocoa is just such a fucking great way to grow, man. I feel your pain.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, well, it's one of those things where like I like it that way because I do the hydro / you know, peat situation. I can just leave it, man. I can walk away if I have to.
Yeah.
Like this would probably take me a while to get used to be like, okay, can I leave for the weekend? You know, I'd be freaking out. My worm's dying.
And and it's going to
you
take
know?
6 months, a year or something to really get over all the little learning curves and make sure
Right.
you know what to do at what times to make sure the plant doesn't run out of a particular nutrient. It's going to take time. They're not going to be
Right.
fucking dying on you. They'll be
No,
decently
no.
happy plants, but it's going to take some practice just to know when
Yeah.
those issues are going to arise, so you can catch them before they do become issues. But man,
hmm
what a
hmm
fucking beautiful way to grow, eh?
Yeah. It's sounds awesome to me.
But this is
Some
the thing
people.
as well. You might get some pest problems because that happens
Gross.
sometimes. This is why you're putting this neem cake in there and shit like that to try and deter pests. But they do happen. You just have to
hmm
be ready for that. It won't get too crazy, but to monitor pests, make sure because you might not see them. The pests might
hmm
just arise and you don't even see them for a while. So you can use yellow sticky traps. Just place them
Those are
around.
great.
Keep an eye on those. You know what I mean? And
hmm
maybe you might see something on it. Hopefully you don't, but it's better to catch them early if you do. Just leave some
Yeah.
around just as a preventative. But if you're using the beneficial bugs, which we discussed in an episode previous as well, these different this hypos what's how you say that hypospis
Hypo
miles Hop,
hypoaspis.
hypoaspis miles, yeah. Yeah, it is. That bug that kills fungus gnats. If you got them
Yep.
in the soil, they'll just happily live there. And if fungus gnat eggs show up, they'll be like, "Oh fuck yeah, fucking this
Yeah.
guy loves us, man. He's giving us all the good shit." And they go over there, gonna
hmm
eat that, and then there's gonna be no fungus gnats because they got eaten by
Yeah.
the fucking by miles over there. And then rove beetles, they can live in the soil, be happy. They won't be attacking your plants, but they'll kill any dodgy pests that shouldn't be in the soil. And then you can
Yeah.
spray neem oil, insecticidal soap, and some aloe vera water as a foliar. But I would avoid spraying neem oil on the plants if you can help it. That's to be avoided. The neem cake in the
hmm
soil isn't so bad, but using neem oil on the plants, you just don't want that happening because it might.
Why do they recommend it so much though? For
Because it
getting
because
rid
it
of bugs,
works. That's the thing. It fucking works, doesn't it? It gets rid of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but it sucks so bad, man.
It does for
I don't
sure.
like that stuff at all.
And you shouldn't
God.
really need to use it. It's a preventative. Instead of
Right.
spraying it on your
Right.
plants, you want to spray it around the soil. But you can even avoid that because insects, it's like a nerve agent, man. If the insects get close to it, it fucks them up. And they can't think straight. They can't fuck. They can't eat. And they end up just
hmm
dying, So just having it
Right.
around is a deterrent. So you can spray it around the raised beds, around the edges. Just a little bit of spray around there so it smells at the bottom of a little bit of neem and they'll fucking stay away, man. Hopefully,
hmm
you know?
hmm
But who knows, man? Who knows? You want to try and avoid using it altogether, really. But if you do get issues, because preventative is good, preventative
Yeah.
only. But fuck, yeah. I mean, it's recommended here, but I wouldn't use it if I could help it.
Yeah. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bottle of it sitting here that I've had for probably 4 years. It's
Better
just
to
going in
have
the
it and not
garbage.
need it.
Yeah.
That's the way it is, man.
God.
Because I've had to use it before. I've had bugs before. I've had to use neem oil. But
hmm
there's other ways. I mean, you don't need to use neem. You could use, if you actually have a bug infestation, depending on the bug, you can make your own household fucking pesticides, man. Just
Right.
some garlic or some capsaicin. Chop up a pepper, put that in the
hmm
water with a little bit of fucking Castile soap. That'll get rid of loads of shit. They don't like the spices. There's other things you
hmm
can use. You don't need to use neem oil. There's ways around it.
Right.
But, but just in case,
For
you want to try and keep
stimulus.
them bugs away.
Yeah. That must have been for the spider mites or what, Art Man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
those things
Mhm.
suck it.
Yeah, but we got an episode on that as well, where
Yeah.
you can. There's lots of different types of beneficial insects, predatory insects that you can add to the
Yeah.
grow. That's gonna kill specific bugs. So go that
Right.
route before you go neem oil route if
Yeah.
you got problems.
They might
Yeah.
cost a little bit, but man, it's better than spraying anything. You know what I mean? In my
Mhm.
opinion.
Yeah, especially in flour, because if it's in
I
veg, you can wash it all off. But if it's
yeah,
in flour,
yeah,
you fuck.
yeah. I have cards right now of um the green wing lace wings or whatever the hell they are upstairs.
Right.
I'm waiting for them. Them little alligator looking things. They like to eat the aphids and shit. hmm
Mm-hmm.
That cost me like $30. And there's like 5,000 of them on there.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Just add water.
No, you just hang them.
All
They
right.
hatch right off the cards and start doing their thing.
Yeah, man, and
You
that's
know?
pretty much it, really. When all that's done,
Yeah.
you're good. And just in between grows, same thing. You're just gonna add top layer, let that break down to add any nutrients that's needed. But don't turn the soil. Don't till it. No till
Yeah.
is what you're looking for. You don't need to scoop it all up and turn it all over and shit like that. Don't do none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Treat it like the woods. Nobody's out there turning over the soil in the woods, and look how healthy all them fucking plants are out there. You know what I'm saying? They don't need that shit. So
Yeah.
just the in between grows, just add some fresh compost, some worm castings and amendments. If it's missing shit, if it's used stuff up, then just relay the mulch, add some compost tea, and then wait for a week or two for it to settle in, and you'll be good for the next run, just like that. And all this is done at home, all done at home for pretty much free. It's a beautiful way to grow. Get on it, everybody. Get on it. Sorry, you got questions, John?
Yep. And I don't remember if you've talked about this or not, but have you talked about like companion plants yet when doing this?
No, we didn't talk about any of those, but yeah, that's a possibility as well. Because there's some you can get back and bring nitrogen back into the soil, shit like that. But I don't think.
And some that might keep pests away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's the name? Pytherians or something like that. What's the name? I can't remember the name. Yeah, specific ones that will, but it's just going to take nutrients out of soil. And that's for the ganja plants. Some of them can smell funky and add smell to your ganja. You don't want that either.
We're not trying to grow potatoes and tomatoes and shit in there. Just some little plants.
Yeah, better to do outside, I think. If you're growing outdoors, if you're growing indoors, then fucking save all that space for the ganja.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's something that we should cover at some point as well. Some companion planting. Maybe we can do that next week when we're talking about like making the nutrients and shit to keep the things up and running. Yeah, but with that, I think that's everything. Of course, any questions, anybody, then give us a shout over on Percy'sGrowroom.com and get your living soil bed up and running. That's a lot of information over the last few weeks. Like, you should have everything you need to get your living soil bed up and running. And now we just tell you how to maintain it and how to keep it all well fed in the next episode. Yeah. Yeah, man. Should we move on to listener mail, John? You ready for some listener mail?
Yes, please. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. From Lobby Lobster. This is a new guy over at the forum. Thanks for the question, man. He said, "Hi all. Great work on show. The back catalogue gets me through work most days." We get that so much, The amount of people who message be like, "Oh yeah, fucking listen to it at work." It's like, fuck yeah. Fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Good stuff.
You getting paid while you're listening to High on Homegrown. I like that.
Beautiful.
You do you, man. That's fucking awesome. Keep doing it. Listen to more episodes. Get paid more money. You know what I'm saying? But thanks to, if you're listening to the show and you work right now, fair play, man. We appreciate you. Don't work too hard. Don't work too hard. Have a good day. But anyway, with this question he asked. Quick question. Have any of you run any autos on 12/12 cycle and have any feedback on the decreased yields? Currently setting up a new tent, and the other half is worried about the increase in the electricity bill as the UK prices are criminal. I feel that pain, bro. Thinking of just running a 12/12, but worried I'll be wasting my time. Definitely not wasting your time, mate. Definitely not. You can still do it on 12/12. There'll be a little reduction in the yield. It won't be a crazy amount, but you're gonna grow 100% more cannabis than you would have if you fucking didn't grow at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's better to do it on 12/12 than 0/0, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fucking grow your plants, man. 12/12 will work.
And I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think it's going to decrease that much.
18/6 is going to be better, and it's not just about the yield. It's about the density of the buds as well. When you give it plenty of light, when the plant's getting all the light it needs, and it absorbs its DLI, that daily light intake it likes, when it gets as much as it needs, you're going to have the denser buds. You're going to have more bud, more flavor and shit like that. It all adds up. But it's not going to be a huge difference if you're just doing 12/12, mate. It won't be much at all, man. I wouldn't like to put a number on it because it's going to be strain dependent and things like that. But again, back in 12/12 is better than 0/0 any, mate. So just get that shit going, man.
Do it.
12/12 fine.
And if you've never done it before, you might as well give it a shot and see what happens.
Indeed.
You know?
But I completely get it as well. I mean,
Yeah.
Another 6 hours on that for the 18.6. Fucking hell. And the electricity prices in the UK are absolutely criminal right now. Absolutely criminal, man. It's imagine running a HPS and shit in this. I mean, we're using these LEDs now, which are a lot more efficient, but running HPS, this is why people out there rigging the electricity and shit, because it's just so fucking expensive now. It's stupidness. Oh man,
So crazy to me.
Yeah, I was gonna try and bring a news article today about electricity prices in the UK compared to the rest of the world, because we are legit the highest in the whole fucking world. But I couldn't find anything that gives me good enough statistics, to show the whole world. I could find shit over Europe.
They don't want to tell you all that.
Yeah. HPS 1000 watt is still king? No, it's not, bro. No, it's not. Really isn't. There's much better spectrums out there. What the plant's like. I mean, that HLG Scorpion Diablo that I have is fucking beast, man. And that gives more wattage than a 1000 watt HPS, as far as I can remember. Much better light spectrum, and the plants fucking love it. Love it. But it was king for a while. You got to give it its props. But, Right, so let's go to the next one here. From Skinny, another first timer asking the question here. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So we have if you could smoke with anyone, past, present, or even future, who would it be and what would you talk about? Okay, I'm done making edits now. So he was editing a lot over on the Discord. And this one was sent in by Discord, everybody. So look, there you go. You can ask listener mail questions in Discord too. But yeah, John, what are you saying, man? Who's going to be, who would you smoke with?
Man, I don't know. There's so many people. Like, I don't feel like I can just say one. Like, I would rather just have everybody sitting around, like, passing a doobie, man. I can't pick one person. Because if I were to pick one person, honest to God, it would be probably a family member that's not around anymore.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. Nobody knows who that person is.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, like, yeah. I can't give a definitive answer on that one. What are you saying?
I don't know, man. If I could smoke with anyone, I don't think I would want to smoke because I don't smoke so much anymore. Just smoking a little bit. She's so fucking high, I wouldn't be able to enjoy the experience with any person. You know what I mean? But like, I'm way too high, bro. Can't fucking do this. I don't know. I mean, there's so many options out there.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's so hard to say, man.
I've been listening to that Greek mythology shit. What's that? What's the name of the guy who's just pushing the rock up the hill all the time? Sisyphus? What's his name?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll smoke with him. Be like, bro, just chill 5 minutes. Let's smoke this fucking joint.
Yeah. Come here, man. Let's do this.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many cool people out there.
I wish he would have gave us his option.
Yeah, man. Fuck Skinny. Fucking hell. Yeah, Sisyphus. Thank you there, Hashish. And Sisyphus. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, man. So we've got Kurt Russell in the chat. What's up, Kurt Russell? I love your movies, bro. I don't really. They were shit.
You both got.
I'm just joking. I'm just
joking. Times.
Yeah. But this is a good question. Me and my friend are first-time growers, and we both got Hermes at different times. Any opinions? Many thanks. Light leaks. Well, it depends really. Where did you get the strain from to start with? Because if you were both growing the same thing, and got Hermes at different times. Genetics is important. Make sure you get good genetics to start with. But most of all, after that, if you know you got good genetics, light leaks, man. You're getting light leaks from somewhere. It could be from a piece of equipment. It could be from a vent, but it's most likely going to be down to them light leaks. I've had Hermes a couple of times, and it's always been down to those light leaks. And I've seen friends growing, and and they got fucking Hermes, didn't know how it was happening, and I'm like, let me get in your tent with the lights off. So I got in there, zip it all up, fucking lights just pouring through the fucking vents. So get the plants out, turn off all the fucking lights, get in the actual tent, zip it up, and wait in there for 5 minutes, man. Your light's going to adjust. Sorry, your eyes are going to adjust to the darkness, and then you're going to see any lights from any equipment that's going to be glowing in there. And the smallest light can cause a problem for weak genetics. So figure that out. But if you're new growers as well, this shit happens, man. Don't hold yourself too responsible for it. It's happened to the best of us, man. So don't think, oh fucking, I'm shit grower, I got Hermes. We've all had Hermes, man. It fucking happens.
I have my feeling is it's probably the genetics, because I'm one of these people who is I don't know, man. I'm not a huge believer in the whole light leaks thing.
What? Why not?
Like, yeah, I guess it can happen because, man, like I grew outdoors in
Mm,
my backyard. I have a street light at the end of the block over there. I have a street
right.
light at the end of the block over there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As long as that plant is growing up, knowing that that's happening all the time,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's not a problem.
Yeah.
The plant is gonna adjust itself. Now, let's say you're growing indoors, right? So most likely, if there's a light leak happening, it's happening all the time and since the beginning. Like if it's coming through vents or it's coming through whatever, right?
Mm.
So, in my opinion, I would assume that the plant would kind of adjust itself to that,
Well,
right?
the difference is right is the plant can take up to amount of light that's like on a full moon because obviously
Hmm.
there's full moons out there,
Right.
and so that much isn't going to cause too much of a difference. But the problem is irregular light cycles. So you have the street lights that's
Hmm.
going to turn on a particular time, turn off a particular time, and
Right.
it's going to be there the whole time. So the plant knows it's going on. But when you're growing indoors, when it's dark and you're coming into the room, you open the door, you close it, you switch a light on, you turn the light off.
Hmm.
Or it's not
See,
regular,
and
it's
I can
irregular
kind of
light patterns.
understand that,
Hmm.
to a point, you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what I mean?
Hmm.
But like I just feel that most of the time it ends up being genetics.
Yeah.
Because I've had light leaks I've had Hermes in my grow room upstairs, and that thing is blacked out as a mofo. There ain't no light in there,
Yeah,
you
genetics
know?
and what Kurt Russell said here, he said he's doing autoflowers, which is much less likely to be light leaks, because these autos the light leaks don't
Hmm.
do cause the same issues, but it could be some
Right.
other environmental stress and weak genetics at that point
Yeah.
then. But definitely
Yeah.
genetics. Make sure you get good genetics, man. You want the good shit from like Mephisto. They always have good autos, and then if you don't want to put the money in there, go Barney's Farm or Dutch Passion again, or good autos from
Who
them
said
guys,
this
man.
giant?
Mm-hmm. What are you saying there?
Is I'm just well, he's saying that streetlights will 100% mess up your plant. Well, I have
Depends how
five plants I
depends how
harvested
strong they
last
are.
year that didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't right over them. You know what I mean? Like it's a half a block away. You know,
Yeah,
so but they were in the whole flower.
yeah, man.
You know.
And this is why it's important. We've mentioned this before. The
Yeah.
and 24-hour lights on. That's probably environmental stresses as well. There, mate.
Yeah.
24 hours is too much. Plant needs a little bit
I'm
of
not a fan
darkness.
of that.
Yeah, and it needs at least 4 hours. 20 hours on, 4 hours off. But
Yeah.
spend the money on getting the good genetics, man. And,
Yeah,
and
for
and this
sure.
is the important thing, because you spent all this time growing all this shit, put all the nutrients into it, all the energy for the lights, you're paying all those bills, and it ends up to be a hermit. It's fucked. Well, it's not really fucked. You can make hash out of it and shit like that, but it's gonna be seed,
Yeah.
pain in the ass. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, and this is why it's important to get the good genetics at the start, so you don't run into these issues. But
Yeah.
learning curve, man. You live and learn, innit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah.
You know.
They was
Mm.
cookies. Yeah, mate. Terrible genetics.
Yeah.
As I said. Right, one more question
Okay.
here from Firetop. Random question would be, random question here. It's not kind of random. I mean, you're talking about cannabis, so it's not massively random.
Okay.
What the crazy joints the panel members have made? For instance, I used to love making cross joints and tulips as a teen. Shit to smoke, but always fun. I also made a 12-inch bats to pass around in a sesh as a teen. What the panel created over the years. Yeah, man, done all of those. Used to have a
Yeah.
book. It was the Joint Rollers Handbook 2 or something like that, and all these different ones. And there was one in it specifically called the Medusa.
Oh God.
And what you
Okay.
would do is you would roll 3 joints and then connect them all at the bottom and plait them together. Like French braids, kind of plait
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
all together. So it's just 3 joints plaited together. Fat joint that had a nice pattern to it because it's plaited. And then you just connect them all on the ends and you spark them up. That was my favorite one, making the Medusa like that. But that was a beast, man. And it's just this isn't the early days. you have this novelty aspect to it. You know, you're new to growing, you've learned how to roll, you want to try all these different things. So you try the tulips and the cross and the medusas and, you know, that fucking huge joints. Because I made one of those huge joints before, because I used to just roll and shit would fall out the end of the joint, and I just catch it on the tray
so huge.
and let it all gather up. And after a while, you just got this pile of shit on your tray. You scoop it all up and you just roll it into one fat fucking joint, man. Yeah, I took that into work one time, just this huge beast fucking joint. But, you know, I think it was like a 6-sheeter, you know, one of those. Because, you know, you get wraps, you get the wraps where you can make your own length ones, but it weren't thick enough to fit the end on. So I just
Bible
made it
paper,
a
baby.
6-shooter. Ugh. Sacrilege. Gosh.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
So you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. You know?
We've had some big ones, you know, like that.
12
inches,
did you roll?
That's a good size. I've both of those. I've made the crosses and I've rolled. I don't know. I bet the one we made was probably, I don't know, 1.5 times the size of a can of round. It was just huge, man. It's like some out of Cheech and Chong movie.
Yeah.
Just big fat fucking.
But a novelty wears off eventually. You just roll normal fucking joints, man.
Well, you're just wasting so much of it, man. Unless there's like 100 of you to pass something that big around, or, you know, whatever. Like, it's just sitting there smoking away. You know?
Yeah, man. Well, your mom's big and she gets passed around a lot. Yeah,
that's right. She does. She's offering $5 coupons this week, everybody. Just saying.
Mother's Day special.
Love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
But yeah, man, let us know, everybody, in the chat and in the comments as well. What size joints have you rolled? And I think there's a thread over on Percy's as well about all the different joints. So if you roll a special one, but you want to show off sometime, then come and show us. It'd be good to see. But that's all the questions. I don't think we have any more. Any more?
Bag switch. No, I don't see any more questions up in this mofracky.
Yeah, doesn't matter how you smoke, just smoke and enjoy. Indeed, Mad Dog. Indeed, indeed. That's the way it is. Just find the way you like, and then, man, and just to say, everybody, I roll the best joints. All right, just saying.
Listen, I'm with you, Hillbilly Herb. It's only because I can only smoke about that much at one time before I gotta lay down.
Yeah, and he says sometimes you just can't beat a nicely rolled pinner. That's it, man. Just something that's not going to sideburn, something that's well made. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what you want. And it comes with practice. I figured out before, I smoked for like 20 years. At least 10 joints a day. So that's like 3,600 joints a year. Times that by 20. You know, so you're looking 360, 72,000 fucking joints rolled over 20 years. It's a lot of fucking joints, man. You better be able to roll a good joint when you've been rolling that many. You know, 10,000 hour rolling shit, passed it, completed it, clocked it, you know? God damn.
Shit.
Yeah, fucking, and Artman says, yeah, Macky, you're a young one. I've rolled more. Yeah, and I ain't been smoking for a couple of years. So I don't roll as much, you know, but
I'm 73.
Yeah, 73. Do the maths. It adds up. You know, when you've been smoking for a long time, if you take a second to figure out how many joints you've rolled, it's a lot. Put that in the comments, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hooey. Hooey. I mean, I'm not one to count. Like back in the day, I couldn't even tell you how many I smoked. It was like an all day thing. I just smoked all day in the car, in the house, outside, playing volleyball. Didn't matter. At a concert. You know.
Are you all trying to encourage a fucking joint rolling competition here?
Yeah. There's a comp for you.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But good show, everybody. Good show. Do the maths. Man, tell us how many joints you have rolled. We want to know. Yeah.
Get a dab press, he says.
You get a dab press for sure.
No, that shit fucks me up, bro.
Right.
Can't do it.
Oh, gosh, right. Just go to the outro here.
Okay.
Just Rev P there with some bad news. I just had an X-ray because I had a bad flu. They found a noodle in my lung. Now I've got to get a CT to confirm or deny.
Nodule.
Fuck, bro. Oh, nodule.
Nodule.
My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
You
It's
know what I
okay.
mean?
I can understand how that
If it
happened.
was a noodle, it'd be like, he's got Chinese lung. Sorry, bad joke. Bad joke. Not a fun time to be joking. Fuck. I hope everything's okay there, FP. It
Yeah,
happens
man,
after
for
years
sure.
of fucking, consuming. It happens, man.
Yeah,
You know, it's probably nothing, mate. It's just some damage from long-term smoking, that's all.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know? But damn, still scary. Still scary, you
Yeah.
know? Keep us informed, man. Keep us informed.
Fucking flu, bro. It's
Yeah.
bullshit.
Man, I'm so lucky I haven't had flu for so long. Last time
I
was
have
like
not.
2 years ago with that fucking vid shit.
I have not had. I've had apparently influenza A once in the past. I'm gonna say 26 years. I have not had a flu shot.
Yeah, avoid that shit. What the fuck? Man, I've seen people
don't
get
do
that
the
flu
flu
shot
shot.
and just suffer.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, my mom and my dad, a couple of years ago, they got it. Well, they get it every year, right? Because they're older.
Mm-hmm,
But like they were just miserable, man.
damn.
I'm like, well, that's what happens sometimes. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, stay strong there, Rev P. Keep us informed,
sir.
bro. Keep us informed. I'm sure everything's going to be fine. Don't stress too much. But that's easy for me to say on the other side of the screen anyway. Just hope you don't stress too much, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But good
Cannabis
show.
prevents the flu.
Well, at least it'll make you care but you don't have it.
Right? Fucking A.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So thanks for joining us, everybody. And of course, thanks, John. It's just me and you today. I think
Yeah,
we did
man.
a good job considering it was just the two of us.
We held it together.
We had it together.
Yeah.
Less
We didn't-
tangents
we
than I
didn't
thought.
have
Even
to,
though there was loads of tangents, there was less tangents than I expected.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It was okay. It's a good one.
Yeah, man.
It was a wonderful one.
And of course, if
Mhm.
anybody has any questions, you know where to find us. Over on postysgrowroom.com.
Yeah.
It's a good time to move to the fucking outro there, but I didn't do it.
Damn you, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Fucking noob.
Oh my god.
But yes, again, have a good week, everybody. Stay high, stay
Yeah,
safe,
man.
and all that shit. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share with a friend if you can. That would be appreciated, but never any pressure. We know it's not easy for some of you guys to share content like this, but we just appreciate you being here. So thank you again. Sign up to Percy's if you're not a member. Blah, 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 blah. Stay
All
high,
things.
stay safe. Roll some joints. Leave some comments. Tell us what your estimate is. How many joints have you rolled? See you later, everybody.
Bye.
Let's wave, John. Bye-bye.
I'm waving.
Bye-bye. you.